Yo! What's going on? Hues, we're live, dude. We're fucking live. We're doing it. We're doing it, man. We're fucking doing it. What's up, everyone? It's wow, this is cool, man. It's episode 1 of fucking a show we were, or at least I made a idea about. What, I think it was last year, right?
It feels like we've been talking about it for years, but yeah, it's been a long time coming.
But welcome to everybody, and welcome you, Hues, and welcome myself to episode 1 of what's hopefully going to be 1,000+ episodes of we like to call normal conversation, where we're bringing you, I practice the elevator pitch how many times I can't even pitch it right now, but
you got this.
Digestible happenings of the world in a comedic, educational, and unique format, blending live streaming, podcasts, and radio in one. That wasn't bad.
I think that was good. It was a lot of words.
Yeah.
There's a lot of words in there. But
well, elevator pitch is 60 seconds. It's 60 seconds. But, yeah, basically the premise of the show, I mean, I have mentioned that, did I just hear myself echo? That was interesting. I have a background in radio, man. That's actually how Hughes and I met. And a little bit of lore there. It's how we met through a buddy of ours. Had a radio show at good old UT, baby. And I just have always loved it. And I was like, man. And then COVID hit. Hughes is like, yo, we should fucking try live streaming out. I was like, damn, I don't know what that is. It's so awkward. We were so awkward when we started. And then it just turned into a snowball effect. And I kept streaming after I moved out. And Hughes dabbles in it every now and again. We're like, dude, let's bring back what started it all out, and let's have like a fun time. And like, this is kind of our wheelhouse. This is my bread and butter. I'm more comfortable doing a radio show than I am honestly live streaming, because it just feels more natural. So it's the culmination of a bunch of ideas and talks and thoughts and like podcasts we've both listened to and inspiration. And now we're going to fucking try it out ourselves. And it's not going to be those, oh, we're going to do 1 or 2 or 3 episodes and then it's over. I'm like all in. Like we got a logo made. We got copyrights coming in, man. Like it's not like it's not a one and done thing, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm real excited, man. I'm happy that you're here too, man. I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else, honestly. So
yeah, I think this is I think I'm not the only person that said this. Funny enough too. I think it's what you were born for. You got a voice for radio.
Thanks, brother, and a face for it. Don't be shy. That's what I was always told, too. They're like, oh, dude, you got a face of radio. I was like, thanks, man. But it sucks, though, because when I was an intern for the Lightning, dude, my boss, I mean, it's probably one of the coolest bosses I had. He's always like, yeah, radios, he called the redheaded stepchild of the mediums. It's like video.
Entertainment.
Yeah, video is a king, and then, like, obviously movies and TV. No one listens to radio anymore. But then podcasts are so huge. So I was like, but to me, like podcasts, like we could do a podcast. Anybody can do a podcast. Anybody can do a radio show. But like podcasts to me are just so, I don't know, so narrow focused. Like if you listen to Rogan, right, the king of podcasts, in my opinion, he just is always talking about the same 10 things almost with really unique guests. That's his podcast. And radio is way more structured where you get a bunch of different segments. So I wanted to bring both of those together. And, like, we talk about a shit ton of stuff every single week, and it's different every single show, but it's still the same kind of format, and it's still the same kind of understanding. It's like, oh, like, we'll be getting these 10 segments over, a show, but every segment, although it might be themed the same, is going to be different every time because we are changing every time. So it's, like, different in the same. I don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying? I guess.
Yeah, I was just thinking the other day about why I wouldn't really want to do like a typical podcast, but why I think this is a fun idea. And I think it's because most podcasts are either super hyper specific, like it's about one thing. It's like a bunch of baseball guys talking about like just baseball, or it's about like nothing. It's like a bunch of stand-up comedians just riffing, or like content creators just riffing and having a conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like a cool middle ground where we'll have like topics to talk about, but it's not just about a specific thing, but we're also not just rambling about nothing.
Yeah, like we're kind of rambling about nothing right now, but it's like it's the introduction, so I figured we gotta. No, but I don't know. We could riff all the time. So I think the thing that made this show come to fruition most in my mind, like obviously we had our shows in college and whatnot, and like I trained a bunch of people in college, but there was a very specific incident. And I've never mentioned this to Hughes, but me and you were on the way to the airport. I think it was when we were flying to Lollapalooza last year. So 2023. We were on the way to the airport, and we had like, I don't remember the exact bit, but we had like the Uber driver just laughing his ass off the entire time. I think it was about like, I want to say it was about Jesus Christ, but I don't think it was. It was like, it was an out there bit, but like it was some of the funniest shit I think we even came up with, and I was like, dude, we need to like fine tune this a bit and kind of try and make it a thing out there. And it was that one Uber ride, because when we got out of the car, I remember the Uber driver was like, yo, thank you for being in my ride, because he was like thankful that we were in the back seat. So
That's hilarious, because I do not remember that even a tiny bit. Like, even just you saying that, I don't remember it happening.
Well, I guess it wasn't as monumental for you as it was for me, so that's okay. That's fine. But I was like, yo, we should do something about it. And then we went to Lala, and it was a good time. But no, that Uber ride in particular. And then the other one that I always am reminded of is every time we would go to Wawa before we started streaming, we would always see some fucked up shit in Tampa. Not like fucked up shit, but just random stuff. Like,
Yeah, just like
the devil, people dead, the devil, or like the
but
guy.
Nothing fucked up.
Yeah, nothing fucked up. Well, yeah, the guy dying is not. I mean, everybody dies. It's not that fucked up, I guess. But or the time where that guy had 9 cop cars pull him over and then he just left because it was nothing. So I was like, there's too many different things that we could talk about, and obviously I think anybody could do it, but I think I'm really excited. So, but yeah, that's gonna be the show. So I guess either stick around or don't. But you want to get on the ground floor of the rocket. That's what I always say. Just taking off, man. Taking off, dude. Anyways, so yeah, that's the introduction. We're going to have segmented things to talk about. We're going to have different things we're going to talk about. We're going to have quote-unquote music breaks. Obviously, the VOD at the end of the show will cut out the edit. Well, there not going to be any music when you're listening to this if you're not listening to this live. So if you're being here live, you can interact with us. Chat interaction on stream. I love you guys. What's up? Apollo, VOD, Durs, Snack, Bino, what's up, guys? Not going to be as frequent, but definitely will have you guys involved as much as possible. But it's not like a live stream only, because we're doing this also as a radio and a podcast type. It's like I said, blending of the mediums. So that's why, and also like all alerts and sounds with the stream are also turned off, because we're going to be playing audio clips. We'll be doing some fun things. I'll have background stuff. I'll have different radio sound effects as well. So like an actual live radio show as well. So it'll be a little bit of a growing pains. We're going to have obviously technical difficulties, because between the two of us, Hughes and I, we always have fucking issues going on with tech. What did you call our first initial streams, man?
Oh yeah, every stream used to be the troubleshooting
hour.
Hughes, because we would just spend like an hour on stream, and the least entertaining content you could possibly find on the internet. It would just be us sitting here desperately trying to figure out what was going wrong.
Yeah, and then I look, my community, love them to death. Some of them I don't love them most of them to death. If I had fucking Tangia on or TTS on, it would be derailed immediately. That would be the whole show. The whole show be ruined. You guys would ruin everything. But like, you guys would know it's funny. But like, I put way too much time and effort in my mind into this that I would absolutely have a mental breakdown if you guys just like absolutely derailed it. So I was like, as much as I love it, we can do that on our normal streams, which we'll still continue on the channel, of course. But I will have a mental breakdown. So, which I already do every time I go live. But all right, man. Let's fucking kick it off, brother. I can't wait for when we're fucking making it like more of a routine. I didn't tell you this. I already am getting like radio beds made. So like every segment will be like an announcer with some like sound effects, like and shit like that to introduce every segment.
You're already holding secrets from me on episode 1?
Yeah, dude. You
we
have no
just met
idea
before the show. Let's peel back the curtains a little bit. We were just on a call for like an hour before this talking about the show and talking about everything that we needed to have planned. And within like 10 minutes of going live, you're like, yeah, so there's something I didn't tell you.
That's the only thing. That's like the only thing I didn't tell you. Look, man, we designed the logo together. Shout out to, I don't really know his name. So
Come on.
it's Usama, USAMA.
That might just be an online alias for
Yeah.
all you know.
He's on Fiverr, and Hughes and I were like, yo, we need to get a dope logo made. So we found these guys or whatever. We sent out our quote unquote inspiration. And we're like, yo, we want it to look like this. Like, we want these colors, like little hex codes. I put hex codes in there. He's like, all right, man, you got it. 13 days later, he came up with what you see, or what, if you were seeing this, our logo. And if you zoom in on it, he has no idea what either of us look like. But if you zoom in on it, the guy on the left I'm literally sitting right now with my legs crossed. I always sit with my legs crossed. And everyone's like, dude, you're kind of weird for doing that. We had almost like, how did he know that it was going to be two white guys talking on a podcast?
Because we said we're doing a talk show podcast type thing, and he went, all right, white guys, for sure.
But I'm supposed to be the guy on the left, and Hughes would be the guy on the right. Like, it definitely, even like the kind of the facial features and even the hair, they kind of look the same. So
At first, I was like, it's crazy that they pinned, like, it doesn't look exactly like us, but the general vibe is there.
Yeah.
And then when I noticed that the guy that looks like you had his legs crossed, I was like, this guy's got it. He's got our cameras tapped or something.
yeah, I took it as an insult first. I was like, why am I taking that as an insult? I always cross my legs, man. I'm doing it right now. It's comfy, bro. It's also might be telling, but it's okay.
I don't think I have the right equipment for that.
Yeah, I definitely do. Unfortunately, it's not the right equipment. It's what God gave me, I guess. Shout out. I can't
gotta work with
choose. Yeah, that's exactly.
You gotta play the hand you're dealt.
I always play. Dude, it's so true. Speaking of hands that are dealt, the first segment's always going to be top headlines of the week and entertainment news and whatnot. So if you guys, or if you never, there's so much shit happening in the world every single day. I think especially and we're not going to talk like politics and whatnot. I love Hughes to death. I love myself. We are both way too stupid to talk about politics in any sort of context where it would make sense. So we're just going to tell you what we are reading and be like, anything that gets in a little deep, we'll maybe dabble a little bit, but it's just going to be kind of a regurgitation. I call it snackable content about like, oh, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. We're not trying to like spew off our political views here. So this is not like an Assange show or anything like that. So we're just
probably still too stupid to even just talk about the stuff we're talking about.
It's true. But we have a creative way to present it. So I'm excited. So anyways, top headlines of the week, man. I know when I first met you, Hughes, you wanted to be an astronaut.
So true.
So
I remember saying that.
I was like, wow, this kid, he's like, if I wasn't on this radio show, I'd be an astronaut. But did you know that, did you hear that like NASA is not going to let, there's like 2 people that went up to the ISS, I think, Starliner astronauts. And then NASA was like, yeah, we can't bring you home because your rocket is going to break. So anyways, on Saturday, SpaceX is like, I'll save the day. Shout out Elon, right? We love I don't actually see.
Always Elon to the rescue.
So Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore, also top 3 name of all time astronauts. Butch Wilmore, they're gonna be stuck at the ISS until February of 25. They've been up there since June, but they were initially only supposed to be there for 9 days. Problems with the propulsion system and the safety issues that ensured will leave them stranded in space for another 6 months. So like whatever they brought up there is not gonna let them come down. So imagine that. This is what I was thinking. So like I probably make things way too much personal, but like I was like, dude, what if you had like a hinge date like in 10 days? Like, hey, I gotta go to space, but like
This guy. That's the first thing he thought of.
I was like, wait, what if you had like a date plan in 10 days? Or like, what if you had like a doctor's appointment in 10 days and you're like, hey, sweetheart, sorry. I know like I said I'd be here. I'm going to be in space until February. Also, I was thinking, do you think you'd lose your mind in space? I think I'd lose my mind.
I don't know. I think I'd be chilling probably, honestly. It seems really nice.
Really?
You don't have to worry about like noisy neighbors or traffic or anything.
So I was reading about shit. I didn't realize that they have to do like a regimented exercise. Like they do like they like have like a training thing so they stay active enough because they're up there for so long. Like you get your bone density decreases. I didn't realize that. But
that makes sense.
I think like if I had in my mind, if I was going to be somewhere for 9 days and then I'm there for 8 months, I'd have a mental breakdown. But apparently, like, they're in good spirits. Obviously, there's other people at the ISS, but I don't know. But shout out to safety, right? I mean, Christ, you imagine they're coming
I
down.
kind of lose my mind when they like ask me to stay an extra 2 hours at work. So I think if they were like, "Hey, do you mind sticking around for another 6 months?" then maybe that might take more of a toll on me than I'm giving it credit for. But I don't know. They're astronauts, dude. They're nerds for that shit. They love it. Maybe they're like sick.
Oh, I don't think there's
paid vacation in space.
I don't think there's a single astronaut that's probably not the coolest person you'll ever meet. If I ever met an astronaut, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Dude, what's his name?
Have like a PC up there. Maybe they're like ripping Dota or League of Legends. They're nerds, so I assume they play something like that.
Yo.
They're on like -2 ping because they are the satellite.
Okay. 5-year plan, dude.
Normal
conversation from space, dude. Saying it, episode 1.
I don't know if I could do it, honestly. I love space.
I would shit myself if I go to space.
I literally have like a Space and Planets mouse pad. Until recently, I had a little astronaut on my desk.
Dude.
Rest in peace to him.
Rest in peace.
But I think I'd rather just admire it from afar. I feel like I would actually turn into like Jack from The Shining.
Yeah, no, obviously true. Vaughn mentioned, what if the astronaut's racist? Of course, I'm not talking about what his political views might be. I'm just thinking probably most astronauts are cool at surface level. Let the record show that I don't think a racist astronaut would be cool. So,
or maybe there's a reason that they're trying to get so far away from us down here.
That is true. Yeah. But all right. 5-year plan. There's probably going to be enough drugs out there that we could be sedated until we get to space, and then we do the show from space.
I don't know if that's better or worse. That you just get knocked out and you wake up in space.
It's way better than fucking dude. You ever see Armageddon with Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler and Steve Buscemi and Ving Rhames? That's crazy. Are
you looking at the IMDb page?
It's one of my favorite movies when I was younger. But they were. I remember vividly them going to space, and like that sequence like freaked me out when I was younger, because it's like they're fucking shaking and shit, and it just I would be so scared to go to space. But
the weird thing about being in space is that I know it's like literally nothing but space. It's in the name, but I feel like it would make me feel claustrophobic. Maybe that's not the word for it, but I feel like I don't know. It's like being in the middle of the open ocean. There's something terrifying about that.
No, I get it. I'm with you there. But they're gonna be coming back in February, so
yeah, they'll be all right.
The February show is gonna be like, yo, remember we talked? Okay, I'm sorry, we're getting too ahead of ourselves. Anyways, this is interesting. Telegram CEO, which I don't use Telegram. I thought Telegram was a porn app. I thought like Telegram was like OnlyFans. Is it not?
Well, it sounds like it partially might be, but
so the dude that CEO, he's charged with criminal activity on the app. Apparently, it's all happening with French people. So French prosecutors released billionaire. His name's Pavel Durov. He was released, but charged him with several crimes related to unlawful activity on the messaging app. Apparently, it's messaging, including CP and drug trafficking. And they set bail at $5.5 million. They also forbade him to leave the country, which I don't know what that means. It's like, hey, man, we really don't want you to leave. So,
I mean, that's like, I don't know if I can think of a worse punishment than you're not allowed to leave France.
But is forbade?
I think I'd rather be trapped in space than trapped in France.
Is fair, but is forbade telling you that you can't leave, or they don't want you?
Allowed.
Oh, so they're okay. I thought it meant like, hey, man, look, we really don't want you to leave the country.
No, I think it's like forbade is like it's forbidden.
Okay.
Forbade.
I misinterpreted that. No, you're probably right. Like I said, I'm too dumb to know. Anyways, authorities said the company has been uncooperative in legal investigations into crime on its platform. Durov's arrest at a French airport over the weekend led to a global outcry concerning free speech, and it stood out for holding a tech executive responsible for activity on its app. So apparently the man that the CEO that's running Telegram isn't like dishing, CP and like trafficking drugs himself, but he is
that
like,
we know.
True. Apparently his app is being used for it, but they're prosecuting him for it. So that's what I guess the big issue is like, oh, like just just because it's happening on your app doesn't mean make you liable, right? I guess. I don't know. And a lot of people do dumb shit on Instagram and Facebook, and I don't see like Zuckerberg getting, well, he definitely gets shit on a lot. But like, it's not like people are definitely selling drugs on Instagram, right? It's not like Zuckerberg's going to jail for it. Right?
Maybe you should.
What do you think he should? I don't know. Bad people do bad things. So like Twitch, for example, if you remember that one Twitch streamer that had sex on stream?
Yeah.
That's illegal.
Is it?
Well, it's against terms of service, right?
Right.
I'm assuming there's probably terms of service in Telegram. It's like, hey, don't sell drugs on our app. Probably within
Maybe
that fine
not.
print. Okay, maybe not. But
that's where they're getting them.
Maybe. But let's say that there is. Is the CEO of Twitch responsible for what his users do on the platform? I say no.
Yeah.
I say
I think
no.
when it gets to a certain point, because let's be honest, have you ever met anybody ever and they've been like, "Oh, let me get your Telegram"? Like, I have a feeling this is the only thing happening on that app. Why else would anybody be using? They're like, this is not like, "Hey, you want to hang out this weekend? Yeah, hit me up on Telegram." No, this is like, "I buried the body. Let me send you the coordinates on Telegram." Like,
That's
there's
fair.
no other reason to be using
Dude,
it.
apparently it's been around since August of 2013.
And I've
It's 10
probably
years
heard
old.
it mentioned.
What's the difference between
2
Telegram and
times.
WhatsApp?
People actually use WhatsApp, not just to commit crimes.
Telegram is simple. You already know how to use it. Private Telegram messages are heavily encrypted and can self-destruct. Oh.
They were
it's
asking for
absolutely a drug trafficking platform.
It's even worded.
These
like,
absolutely should be. I'm so for the French now. Lock him up, man. Get him out of here.
They might as well have like.
What is this platform?
Pushed it as Telegram, the crime app. Do crime on Telegram. Like
Well,
they might.
Do you remember when Snapchat launched when we were younger and everybody's like, hell, now you can get, it's like, I don't know. My mom was so appalled that Snapchat existed because like, well, now you can you're going to get all these naked pictures and it's not going to mean any, or it's like, you can go away. It's like, what? I'm fucking
And as a teenage boy, you're like,
13.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah. Hell yeah, mom. I mean, wait. So.
My parents didn't even know what Snapchat was.
My mom was too involved in my childhood life, honestly. She's like, I remember she yelled at me because I wrote on Facebook because like I hate homework, and she lost her mind. She's like, you need to delete that right now. You don't know what the internet is gonna hold. She was right.
Meanwhile, the kids nowadays are like buying ketamine on Telegram.
Yeah, true, dude. Speaking of 13-year-old racial slurs, we can get into that a little bit later. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that dude on Telegram's. He's getting fucked up. Moving on. So we were talking about this earlier. I'm a big lunch meat guy. Big lunch meat guy. I'm more of a fuck. They had the great commercials. Hillshire Farms. Go meat. Big Hillshire Farms. Shout out Hillshire Farms. We're not sponsored yet, but just letting you know, we're open to any. We're open to Hillshire.
Not any. Don't say. I thought you were going to say we're open to any sponsorships. I was like, we absolutely are not. I'm cutting that off right now.
But Boar's Head, which I realize now is insanely expensive compared to a lot of different lunch meats. But you probably may have heard this. Boar's Head is having a huge Listeria outbreak, and like their main facility. So they're having a crap ton of lunch meat being recalled. So last month, Boar's had recalled every product that came from its Virginia plant and paused the location's operation after officials traced some Listeria part. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I thought that was mouthwash.
That's Listerine. To deli meats produced there, right? So it's now the worst outbreak since 2011. And according to the CDC, 9 people have died. 57 people have been hospitalized in 18 states, all on the East Coast. Quote, there are ants traveling down the wall, a beetle, a cockroach, and, quote, small flying gnat-like insects in a room with walls that had, quote, heavy meat buildup. Mold and mildew on workers' sinks and along walls, sometimes in spots as large as a quarter. So like a quarter size mold spore, that's pretty big, man. Then a puddle with, quote, green algae growth, condensation dripping onto exposed products, ample amounts of blood in puddles, which is crazy, and a, quote, rancid smell. So some of the 7 million pounds of recalled boar's head cuts are floating around with October sell-by dates. Toss anything with EST 12612 or P-12612 inside the packaging's USDA mark. So if you
Where are they producing boar's head meat? Asmongold's room? Like, what is this?
I was kind of reading more about this. Apparently, prior political administrations were way more. They had more stronger codes that you had to follow, and they had a lot of people going to check these plants to prevent these things from happening. And recent political administrations and or whoever I don't exactly know the I guess terms, but basically as the political views have shifted and like political things have happened, apparently there's less oversight at these places and they're like trying to save money basically. So that's may or may not be one of the core reasons why this has happened. But I just like if I'm working somewhere, I don't want to work in these conditions. So why don't you just clean the fuck up?
I mean, if it's not your job, you're like, I could just step around the puddle of blood.
Dude, but like, if I had mold growing on my wall next to me, I'm not going to live stream next to it. I'm going to clean it. Or if I had blood...
you're in the minority on this website.
Yeah, that's fair. Did you see that Power Wash Simulator wants to make an Asmongold room level?
Oh, yeah. I don't think that was real, but I did see that the actual Power Wash Simulator account responded to it and said we don't have the equipment for that.
That's bad. But, yeah, if you got boar's head in your fridge, throw it out, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's horrible that people are getting sick and even losing their lives, but part of me is kind of like, if that's what gets you, lunch meat, like, I mean...
Yeah, that's embarrassing, honestly. Yeah, if you're getting downed by fucking roast beef,
downed like it's Fortnite.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're getting put in the fucking if you need a revive after eating some lunch meat, that's pretty bad.
If some boar's head sliced turkey is putting you in the blender like that, then you weren't gonna make it much further, anyways.
That's brutal, dude. But yeah, so throw out your lunch meat. You got boar's head in it, so. I don't have any food in my fridge because
I thought we have Publix here in Florida, obviously, and I thought for the longest time that boar's head was just like Publix meat. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, dude, I thought boar's head was like a type of deli as well, but apparently it's just the producer. So I don't know.
Apparently they have sludge factories all over the country just producing this stuff.
Yeah. Speaking about creating sludge factories, Japan is urging 4 million people to evacuate as Typhoon Shanshan, or Shanshan, spelled S-H-A-N. Shout out to you anime fans. I'm sure you're like, dude, he's not pronouncing it right. Threatens south with up to a meter of rain, which in American terminology, a meter to feet is 3.2 feet. So you're getting 3.2 feet of rain. What do you mean, oh?
We get that like every other weekend.
That's a lot of fucking rain, brother. I guess in Florida, yeah. I mean, Florida's Florida. But, yeah, apparently, like, typhoon season's kicking up. Hurricane season has been in full force, but have you been brushed by anything down there?
I almost feel like we haven't gotten a drop of rain. I'm pretty sure around the area I live in, it's been... I don't know if they've officially called it a drought, but it's been bone dry over the past 3 years. And I'm not just talking about my sex life.
That's fair. I'm with you there, brother. But speaking of not being bone dry, torrential rain and dangerous storm surges are expected with hurricane-force winds in Japan. So shout out to all of our Japanese listeners and viewers. Stay safe and stay dry. I don't know. Maybe you like the rain.
I was gonna have to like get up on an elevated surface and watch us on the laptop. It'd be like that scene from Parasite where their house floods.
Dude.
They'd be sitting on the toilet, chain smoking cigarettes, watching the show.
Before we do the show from space, we got to do a show during a hurricane. We're going to be everywhere.
Easy.
We're going to be the Jim Cantor of live stream radio podcasts.
But we're not going to talk about the weather.
No.
We won't even acknowledge it.
Yeah, it's like,
we'll
it's
be in
raining.
the middle of a hurricane. Yeah.
It's kind of, it's a little damp out here. And then one of our last top headlines before we get into entertainment news, we have Lego. I love Lego, so I wanted to talk about this. But they did two things, which I thought were interesting. They reported record profits. Shout out Legos. And then they decided to outline plans to decrease profits by going green. Lego profits were reportedly increased 26% over the first half of the year to a whopping $1.2 billion, which is, and revenue jumped 13% to nearly $5 billion. I did not know Lego was also privately owned, because I'd definitely buy some Lego stock if I could.
Oh, let's get in on that.
Dude,
let's get our own Lego set.
They're private. Ooh, that's the ultimate goal. Get a podcast, live radio Lego set would be, that'd be so sick.
We should partner with Lego and
Fuck
we do a
pop
stream in a
figurines.
room. We do a stream in a room made entirely out of Legos.
Dude, holy shit.
That would be awful to walk on.
Oh, yeah, it'd be awful. The whole thing would be terrible aesthetically, but sick otherwise. But then Legos decided they're going to spend their money on making all their products renewable and recycled by 2032. So right now, like I kind of read about this a couple years ago. The company is working to switch out raw virgin plastic, that's verbatim what it's called, with renewable resin. And this resin is coming from a bio-waste like cooking oil, and it is between 40% and 60% more expensive than plastic made from crude oil. And it's Lego's latest attempt to make its iconic bricks without fossil fuels. So
Shout out to Lego.
yeah, so they're making all that money just to be better, which I respect. But I'm just already picturing parents go, yeah, Lego's going woke, man. I'm not. Lego's woke. You're not allowed to play. Let's go. I'm gonna go to a Bionicle or Connect.
Lincoln Logs.
Lincoln Logs. Yeah, we're ain't going to that woke Lego company anymore. So I don't know. I got a Lego. I love Legos. I think I would choose doing a Lego over a puzzle, jigsaw puzzle.
Didn't you used to do puzzle streams and never once did a Lego stream?
Yeah. I should have done the Lego streams. They probably would have went better than the puzzle streams.
It's never too late.
I mean, I could do one right now. We could do one. We got the show on the road. But yeah, those are your top headlines of the week. Not a bad week. Stayed away from the political jargon. There's probably a lot more headlines you could have talked about, but I think it's
No, I think
short
we hit
and
everything
sweet.
important.
Yeah.
Elon sending a Cybertruck into space to save
Yeah.
those people, like the savior he is.
And on that truck to get everything out of here is all of the Listeria meat. So he's shooting it into space.
Yeah, they're living. Oh my God! Imagine they were living off Boar's head up there. That's a dude. That's a horror movie right there. Yeah,
That's a horror movie. Could you imagine? That would be hilarious. I wonder what food products sponsor the ISS.
I feel like it's all just like Jell-O.
Jello's definitely one of the sponsors.
It's just some sort of paste.
I wonder
Oh,
what.
did they make you drink in school? Did they make you drink Tang? Because they said that's what the astronauts drink, or was that just us?
I've heard that, but I didn't drink Tang.
They made us drink Tang in school, but that teacher also assaulted us with rulers and locked us in closets.
You
so
go to
maybe
Catholic
not
school?
everybody- No.
Oh, it sounds like
No.
my mom's upbringing at Catholic school.
Yeah. no,
Apparently,
this
they
was
used to
a
smack
public
the
school.
shit out of you with rulers and whatnot. But I didn't get abused by teachers in high school or middle school. So
That rules.
shout out my
That sounds-
childhood. Yeah.
That sounds really.
I have
cool.
other trauma. So, speaking of trauma, half of entertainment news is always traumatic. The doctor, this is unfortunate, doctor charged with Matthew Perry's death was released on $50,000 bond. The man's expected to plead guilty. Dr. Mark Chavez, one of the doctors charged in Matthew Perry's death from the acute effects of ketamine last year, has been allowed to be released on $50,000. The charge comes with a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison, a 3-year period of supervised release, or a fine of $500,000. In my opinion, 10 years is not enough, but also I don't know the details of the case, but I feel like if you are knowingly giving an individual with an addiction history medication that you know if taken incorrectly could lead to their death, you are 100% responsible. Like an accomplice.
Yeah. I feel like these celebrity doctors, I don't know where they find them. It's like Kanye's doctor. Like, how these can't be
Dude,
real doctors.
That nitrous stuff is crazy.
They're getting like Mickey Mouse doctorates just to be the doctors to the stars, and really all it is just giving them prescription drugs.
Yeah. No, the nitrous is like crazy what they're talking about, the nitrous shit like that, what he's doing there. But I don't know.
The crazy thing about Matthew Perry, so like right after this happened, I was talking to my mom, and my mom was sick a little bit last year with like an ear infection or something, so she just had to spend a lot of time on the couch, and so she was like, I'm going to read a book, and she read Matthew Perry's autobiography, and she like spent a couple weeks reading through that, sitting on the couch, and the day after she finished it, my dad was in his office watching the news, and he was like, you're not going to believe this. And Matthew Perry passed away the day after she finished his book. So what I'm saying is I think my mom killed
Your mom killed Matthew Perry.
I think my mom is the reason Matthew Perry died.
There's one part.
She never should have finished the book. She literally closed the book.
That's why you don't read. That's why you should never read anything. You never know what's going to happen.
Literally, she finished the final chapter of his life.
She closed the book on Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
There's shows out there that talk about certain celebrities and certain people, and then they end up dying. And I'm wondering if, like, what if we start that shit?
Well, if we just only talk about people that have already died, then what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
They come back?
Yeah,
That's
maybe we'll be the revitalizer.
Let's bring back MJ.
Jordan. Unretire Jordan. No, unretire him. Yeah. He cooked LeBron in 7.
Today? I don't think
No, probably
so.
not.
I think the hardest part would be peeling him away from the craps table.
Dude, there's already people have a hard enough time peeling me away from the craps table, so yeah, I'm taking Jordan away. Anyways, shout out to, like we said, we're making a comeback on this, Alex Earl, who is a podcaster. Because what do you do when you're famous is you apologize again for using racial slurs directed at black people a decade ago. So apparently 10 years ago, she decided to use racial slurs and then is quoted as saying she promises to do better. Thank God. So anyway, she's 23 years old. She has a podcast called Hot Mess with Alex Earl, which goes in line with, I guess, this story. She says, quote, I will continue to listen, learn, and do better. Love you all. She captioned the TikTok post telling fans she handled the situation, quote, terribly, and I recognize that, and I agree with you guys. Do you imagine if she, like, stood on and she's like, hey, I don't agree that this is wrong. She's, like, she's, like, racist. She just stood about being racist.
I know that it's just the state of like being internet famous now and being a content creator, but people exposing you for saying actual slurs and then reading in the post that her apology was posted on TikTok is just so funny to me. That's so absurd.
Yeah, we're cooked as a society.
You asked me before we started the show when we were briefly talking about this one, you were like, do you think people get a pass if you said slurs?
Yeah,
but
at 13.
You were like 13, and I was like, yeah, because you're like a child, and maybe you don't know better, and it's just like bad influences. Yeah. And I like to give people the benefit of the doubt that by the time you're like 23 and you actually have like a fully formed brain that's not mush, maybe, I'll give you the chance to redeem yourself. But I'm going to say not with her, because when you get famous on Barstool, I have no faith. And I mean, let's be honest.
No, I'm with you 100%. Like,
did you really change that much?
When you're 13 and you're slurring and you're putting it on the internet, like, I feel like at that point in your life, you definitely know the shock value of it. Even at 13, you definitely know that, like, oh, if I say this word and I put it on the internet, like, I'm going to get people interested at least. But
I feel like all it required, like, a lot of, especially like guys our age who grew up playing like COD and stuff and were on the internet, a lot of us became like edgelords because that was just like what was cool and funny at the time. And I think all it takes to outgrow that stuff is you just like end up getting a normal job and working with normal functioning human beings, or just like making actual adult friends. But again, when your entire adult life has spent on the internet making a podcast, hanging out at
Yeah.
Barstool, like,
Yeah,
I don't think those are the influences that are going to help you get out of that.
I'm with you there. Apparently, screenshots of what happened. So I guess whatever she posted online wasn't like her like verbatim saying it and then putting it online. 2 years
Said
ago,
the slurs and then said, and I'm going to believe in this for the rest of my life, so quote me on that.
she said she didn't want young girls who looked up to her as a role model to use similar language. Quote, I don't want any young girls watching this and thinking that because I haven't said anything, I think it's okay or that it's cool or whatever. It doesn't matter the context. It doesn't matter the age. Like, it was wrong, and I admit that. And I didn't come on and say anything about it because I was just so scared of saying the wrong thing or not addressing it properly. Earl said addressing her delay and talking publicly about the situation. Apparently, she was received advice to not address the issue and accept the responsibility for not speaking out about it until now. She said that she hopes in the future that she can show that's not who she is as a person, and she knows she carried herself terribly in the situation, and she's just trying to have some honesty out there because, quote, I feel like that's what's really been lacking in all of this.
I think when the inciting incident starts with slurs and you're just trying to work back up to here, the fact that your initial thought is you're scared that you might actually do something wrong and drive it further down is like...
Brain
you
dead.
don't even have that faith in yourself. You're like, yeah, I know I said like some of the worst slurs a human being can conjure with the tool of language, but I was worried that if I opened my mouth again, I might make it worse. Like, what were you planning on saying?
Yeah, she just like has a manifesto or some shit. Oh man. She said, quote, I'm deeply sorry that my words have hurt many and have led people to believe that I have any prejudice in my heart. I promise you that could not be further from the truth. Look, I'm all for people, I'm all for second chances. I'm all for people bettering themselves, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long until like you realize you're no longer in the public eye about this, and then you're like, oh, I gotta slur so I get back in the public eye.
True,
So
that's the go-to. The
Yeah.
grift now is when you start to fall off. She's gonna keep those fall. I think that's why she was tiptoeing around this apology. She was keeping them in her back pocket. for
Yeah,
supporters.
honestly,
She
yeah.
was saying just enough to keep them around, so that they don't go, oh, she's woke now.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
now when she starts falling off and doesn't have any supporters,
She's like,
you can
well,
rely
I
on
can't
those
slur
people.
anymore, so that's why I fell off. It's like, there it
it's like
is.
your guy, the baseball guy who said the
Excuse
slur in all
me?
of his jerseys. So, what's up?
My guy.
The guy who said the slur. And,
Oh, he's
he,
your
like,
guy. If anything, he's on the Red
sold the
Sox.
most- I don't watch baseball like that.
Jaron Duran. He was getting heckled by a member of the crowd, and then he just dropped the F gay slur, got suspended for 2 games, and then Boston and society made his jersey the highest selling jersey of the year, which is disgusting.
No, I got no words. for
Yeah.
it.
And it's
It's like, I
unfortunate
think a
because
similar
he's a
thing-
dope ball player, too. He's good, and he just sucks.
I think a
Just
similar
sucks.
thing happened a few years ago with the artist Morgan Wallen, the country singer.
Mhm.
It might have been him, it might not. So I don't know if I want to slander his name, but it was some country singer who said something fucked up, and then he became like the most streamed artist on Spotify that day or something. And it's just like, it's so you want to have faith in people, and then stuff like that happens, and you're like, damn, maybe not.
I mean, Morgan Wallen said the N-word. He did. And then he said, like, he has no excuse. And then this year, Darius Rucker of Hootie and the Blowfish said, quote, it's time to forgive Morgan Wallen for using the N-word. Like, what are
Too
we
much
doing?
time has gone by.
Yeah, it's like, he said it was, quote, crazy that Wallen was not nominated for Entertainer of the Year. He's,
Oh, that's
Morgan
just
Wallen's
because his
huge.
music sucks.
I'm not a, you just pissed off a lot of people.
Good. I'm
I'm not a Morgan Wallen. Yeah, I'm not a huge Wallen fan. I'm not against the music. Like I like country. Like I love Zach Bryan a lot. I don't really listen to Morgan Wallen, but
He'll slip
dude,
up.
I'd be so upset if he did.
He'll slip up.
I'd be so upset. It's almost like a
coming.
countdown. People, your internet heroes will eventually ruin everything you think about them.
and multiply it by
Yeah.
2 if they're a country singer.
Yeah. But yeah, and then the last thing before we do a little break here, John Stamos
I love this.
was kicked out of Scientology for goofing around. So during an interview with the Friend in High Places podcast with comedian Matt Friend, he was quoted as saying, "I was in an acting class and there was this hot girl." Stamos said. She said, we're all meeting at this address on Hollywood Boulevard. Come after class. And at the time, Stamos was apparently working at a restaurant. And he said, "Dad, I gotta go." So he went, and it was a Scientology building. He was like 16 years old, right? So he was inspired to go to Scientology meeting by his idol, John Travolta. So I didn't know that either. I didn't know Travolta was a Scientologist.
All over Hollywood.
Yeah, Stamos apparently wanted to be John Travolta. Anyways, he was recalled entering the Scientology building and being summoned to a machine called the E-meter. And which was formed from 2 cans, apparently. Not like the bird, like 2 cans. Like,
Nice.
yeah. After having a fake phone conversation pretending to be Rocky and Bullwinkle characters, Peabody and Sherman, Stamos said, "They just kicked me out for messing around so much."
This is like, I don't know if your parents ever said this to you when you were a kid, but you know how parents always tell their kids, like, if you ever got kidnapped, you'd be so annoying that they'd just bring you back.
My mom told me I should be a lawyer because I like to quote argue all the time. And then I was like, "No, I don't." And then
I
she's
was always
like,
that would never happen. And it
Yeah.
literally happened to Stamos. He got kidnapped by a cult, and they were like, just get him out of here. Like, they don't let people go. They don't let people contact their families.
they
or
get
go
mad at
outside
you.
alone.
Yeah.
This guy was so fucking annoying that they were like, fuck it, forget all the rules. Please, just fucking get him out of here.
Yeah, so, apparently he walked in, used this E-meter thing, which I'm assuming is just like 2 cans like with string on it. And then he had a fake conversation routine pretending to be Rocky and Bullwinkle, Peabody and Sherman. Or, no, Peabody and Sherman characters from Rocky and Bullwinkle. And then they just kicked him out.
He was born to be an entertainer, man.
Yeah. He got candid about leaving the Church of Scientology in his 2023 memoir, If You Would Have Told Me. And in June, the Full House alum opened up on USA Today's The Essentials about favorite summer things to do, including spending time with family. Which I guess he wouldn't be able
Uncle
to do.
Jesse, man.
Yeah. So he's been sober since 2015.
Good for him. Still handsome as ever.
Dude, drop dead, gorgeous individual.
I want to look like John Stamos when I grow up.
And he wants to look like John Travolta. So
Maybe not anymore.
no, it says he still does here. He wants to
Oh,
still be John Travolta.
I guess we all are. We all want to be something that we're not, even when you're like one of the most handsome men on television when we were growing up.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna do a quick break. We got fun couple things. We got tech news coming up. We got a survey and research done that I'm interested to get your take on. So we're gonna do a quick break. Probably like 7 minutes. Usually in radio we did like 10, but I think 10's too long. So and then we had like you got to do station ID every 15 minutes. Should I do a station ID? WTT, the University of Davis one and only radio station?
No, it's all right. I think we can skip that part.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, we got a break. This is cool. I'm having a good time. You're listening to a Normal Conversation. We'll be back after this quick break. Yo, welcome back to Normal Conversation with your host, me, CTZee and Hues. It says co-host, but Hues is also a host. I guess that's what co-host means, right?
I'm happy to just be co-host and you can be host.
Yeah,
like
but
playing a supporting role.
Yeah, but we're still like, when is the kissing segment? Apollo asks. We got to move back in together.
We'll set a milestone for that for sure.
Yeah. So, quick shout out to everybody here in the Twitch chat. Apollo, thanks for being here. Beano Man, sticking around. Vog, weird guys here, Hughes.
Wow.
Alex, what's up, buddy? Hope you guys are all having a good Sunday. Thanks for
Stars
coming
are
to
out.
say hi. Definitely appreciate the banter. Definitely, like I said, I mean, Twitch chat isn't the biggest. We're not interacting as much, but if you're here, we'll definitely, shout you out and talk to you as well, because this show will live on forever. So you were here on the ground floor of the rocket, as I mentioned. I will be saying that many more times. But yeah, so
looking back now, because rocket ships don't have rear view mirrors.
do they not? Do they have any mirrors?
I mean, why would you need a rear view mirror? I don't think anybody's coming up behind you. I'd be really worried.
What if, yeah, no, you're right. You're right there. That's true. Long as it don't go like Challenger. Fuck, dude. He's so true. So true with that one. But yeah, so segment 2. So we have different segments we'll do each, we have different categories we'll do each segment, but this one is just going to be all surveys and research and stuff that we do, and like I think it's pretty cool to like learn about what's going on in the science world. So tech stuff, so as well, and video game stuff. There's pretty cool stuff, like GameStop news. I don't know if you heard, but we'll get into it. But one research I found this week, Hughes, the price of happiness, man. I mean, everybody's got a different price, right? I mean, it also depends on what you define as happiness. Like, I'm very happy right now, and I'm not making a fucking dime, right? If anything, I'm spending money on electricity and whatnot, but I'm hanging out with my best friend. I'm doing things that I like to do. I'm very happy right now, period. So, but according to this survey, $200,000 is the price of happiness. So that means you got to make 200 beans a year, pre-tax, I think. Or no, it's after tax, in order to be happy. Despite the cliche about money and happiness, which money can't buy happiness, I'm a firm non-believer of that. Money absolutely can buy happiness.
100%.
Yeah. Most Americans, this is also an American study, know how much money they would need to feel content, and that money is $200,000. 56% of Americans say that they would be content with a liquid net worth of over $200K. The survey comprised of 786 employed Americans between the ages of 18 and 43, so we're right there, man. Found that having money may not buy happiness, which still don't agree with. It definitely does. Still, a safety net does allow one to not worry about a financial emergency. And this is the funniest part. The average American makes $59,000 per year, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. So not only is we're not making enough money, period. We're not making enough money to be happy. And our happiness levels are so not even close to obtaining 200,000. Like, you basically need to work 4 jobs to be happy. So
Yeah,
it is after taxes. This is after taxes. It's 59,000 the average American is making.
So you said 200,000 liquid net worth though.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So like, liquid is cash. So like if you had $200,000 in cash on hand.
I think if somebody handed me $200,000, I'd be really happy.
Exactly. No, that's the point. You need $200,000 to be happy, but like you're not. It's very hard to obtain 200K liquid net worth, man. So
no, you just go down to the Chase Bank and you make a faulty withdrawal.
dude, did you see that shit?
That's what everyone's doing this
That's
weekend.
crazy. Yeah,
it's not going to backfire on anybody. It's free money. Why
that's
wouldn't
so
you do
crazy what they're doing.
Yeah,
there.
nothing could possibly go wrong.
74% of respondents currently making $40,000 said that they would be content making $150,000, compared to 64% of those who currently make $150,000. McDonald, who ran the study, not the corporation McDonald's, his name is. I'll get his full name actually, that I can get it. What's his name? His name's John McDonald.
Not a real person.
Swear to God. He's pointed to the hedonic treadmill phenomenon to explain the responses, saying that, quote, people chase a higher income to achieve happiness only to return to a baseline level of contentment after a short-lived boost, which I definitely agree with. There's also generational differences within this research I found. So millennials and Gen Z obviously responded differently. Millennial respondents said that they would be more content with a higher salary, or Gen Z respondents favored having a higher liquid net worth. So basically, millennials want to make more money, and Gen Z just wants to have more money, I guess, to spend, is what I'm getting out of that.
Because the world's just going to like burn and blow up anyways, so they don't care how much they're making a year. They're like, just give it to me now so I can spend it.
Yeah. 75% of millennial respondents surveyed said would feel content with $150,000 salary, while compared to 71% of Gen Z and in the same question. And then 84% of Gen Z respondents said that they would be comfortable with a $1 million liquid net worth compared to 81% of millennial respondents. So more Gen Z wants more money in their bank and compared to millennials. They just want to make more, I guess, which
I think I actually agree with the Zoomers for once.
I'd rather have more money in the bank than make more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what they were saying, right?
Yeah.
The younger people would rather have the money.
Yeah.
Of course.
McDonald pointed out the formative economic environments of each generation for the differences, saying that the larger paycheck was a sign of accomplishment for the millennial generation, economically delayed by the Great Recession, and that Gen Z, which is shaped by the COVID-19 pandemic, found that building assets was a safer strategy.
Kids are on to something.
So my question to you, my mans, would you rather have the salary or would you rather have the dollar?
I want to say I'd rather have the dollar, but I 100% know that I would just end up spending it on like Uber Eats, like
Dude, that's the
buy a
thing,
new
man.
car or something. Like, obviously, if somebody gives you like $1 million and you're actually smart, which I'm not, then you could turn that into more money. But I don't know how to do that shit. It's way safer for me to just get the check. Keep giving me the check. You have to babysit me with my money. So I think
That's the thing. Like I definitely agree with the treadmill kind of thing where it's like what I make now at my job. If I was
$1,000 a year,
what?
$500,000.
Yeah, I make $500,000. Yeah, for sure. I don't. If I was making if what I make now today, if I was making out of college, I would be over the fucking moon. However, what I'm making now is not enough. You know what I mean? So it definitely is true. So I definitely would rather have the dollar over the salary.
I'd rather like to have the dollar right now today.
Yes.
But then like ask me again in 5 years when I'm like every person
for sure.
who's ever won the lottery and I have nothing left.
Yeah, for sure. I have definitely gotten better at my spending. I mean, I grew up like when I was really young, like just dirt shit. You know, like I didn't have dick. I didn't have the skin off my dick. So I had nothing. You know what I mean?
You're unsnipped?
Well, that's for another conversation.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm definitely snipped.
No, okay. I'm half snipped. So.
Half snipped.
I think the thing is like with getting the lump sum of money and not the check is that like I don't spend a lot of money, so it would last a while, but I'm also not going to be making any money on that. I'm not going to make good investments and shit. I don't know how any of that works. So it's only going to be going down. It's going to last a while.
I also hate 401ks, man. It's like
I don't even know what that means.
You make $10K, say you make $2,000 a paycheck, right? After taxes, it's probably like, at least where I fucking live, I think if I made $1,800 after tax, like $1,300. So all the taxes go, and then you have like a percentage of your paycheck goes to your 401k, and you can't touch that shit. Obviously, it's like investments and whatever, and like yada 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 whatever. I don't fucking care. And then, which, if you want to get political, it's like my mom's old, right? Shout out mom. She's old. She's on Social Security. She worked 40 some years. A part of her paycheck, every single fucking paycheck would go to Social Security. So when she retired, the government then pays you in lump sums based on your income over your time of working, gives you a lump sum every single month to live off of. So my mom now lives off Social Security. My mom, because it is okay with that, right? It's not probably enough for her because she's, my mom, she's like, oh, I want to, When we're older, it is threatened that Social Security may not even exist. So like the money that we get taken out of Social Security for us, where is that going if it's not going to exist when we're older?
Now it's gambling. They turned it into gambling. They knew our generation loves gambling. They're like, are you going to get it back? Are you not? People were like, fuck, I'm in.
It's not even like, it's literally, it's gambling to a sense, but it's like, will this money, it's not even like, will my money double? It's like, will it even be there?
Will I just get it back?
Yeah.
That's the new thrill, is gambling for
scary.
one-to-one winnings. Yeah. Just for the thrill of winning.
I don't know, man. But I would definitely take the dollar today, simply because I think in my mind at 28 years old, I I would be smarter with it. And the salary at the end of the day, like I realize how much money is taken out for taxes and medical shit and all this other stuff. It's crazy.
If you take the 200,000 a year, like a decade from now, you're probably not even going to be able to pay rent with that. So,
dude, you think rent is going to be $200,000 a year?
I mean, at this rate, feels like it.
Dude, I'd actually fucking cry if I had to make 200,000 a year. How much is that per month?
I don't know. So 20, less than 20. That's a good deal.
$16,000 a month to live on just rent.
Sounds about right. That sounds about right to me.
No,
the landlords deserve it. They work hard.
My landlord has not helped me once.
I've never met my landlord.
I have recessed lighting in my apartment, and like to change the bulb, you have to pull the recess out of the ceiling, and there's like a plug that hangs from the ceiling that plugs into the bulb. It's very interesting, and then you pop the recess back into the ceiling. But they didn't. They literally just drilled a hole out, and they have it so it fits, but they don't have it a way to like stick up there. So they just plastered the sides of the recess. They like painted it into the ceiling. So every time I have to like chisel drywall out of the recess to put the bulbs in, and then I'm every like 3 days I have one by my door where it just drops out of the ceiling, just hanging there like a fucking interrogation lamp at my. So my landlord does not deserve more money. Also,
to change my light bulbs, I have to call somebody. They have special light bulbs, and they don't let us have them. I have to call somebody and wait 5 to 7 business days.
You also had a place that leaked.
Leaks.
Oh,
still.
Okay, it still leaks. Well, thank God it's been bone dry in Florida then.
Seriously.
So, 200,000. You gonna be happy with that?
Yeah, that's like 9 times what I make now.
Yeah, I'd be real happy with 200,000 liquid net worth. So. And yeah, I think money would buy happiness for sure. Do you think?
100%.
Do you think if you made 200 though, and you had it for like a year, would you want more, or do you think you'd still consistently be happy with 200?
No, I think I'd just find other shit to be upset about.
That's fair.
I think I would just start focusing on all the other aspects of my life that suck. It would give me more time to sit around, and instead of thinking about like bills and money, I would just think about how like I'm ugly and can't find a girlfriend and all that stuff. So it gives you more time to reflect on that.
That's unfortunately
which is a happiness in and of its own.
Yeah, that's true. Girls are interesting parts of your life.
I think
Leave
honestly,
it at that.
people who have money always say that like, oh well, I'm still miserable, so money it's not gonna fix it. But like 90% of regular people are like, brother, I'm miserable every day because I don't have money. Like you could take away so many of it's just the people who already have money that are just doing exactly what I was saying, like sitting around being like, fuck, my tennis coach moved out of state, so now I gotta find a new one. Like that's the type of shit they're upset about, and they're like, trust me, brother, money does not fix your life. Like my wife left for her yoga trainer. Like
I need to find a new tennis coach is good. But a survey stemming off of this one, which I know that you are in this business, you are, or at least reap some of the benefits from it. I'm starting to get into this business. Is a new survey finds that Americans are tipping less often, but requests are continuing to pile up. So tipping is an egregiously predatory situation that's going on. I think as an individual myself, I kind of feel like I'm nice with tipping. I mean, I remember the guy at Lollapalooza, we went to go get a drink. I didn't know if my card tipped him, so I tapped like 20% twice. I gave him $30 for a $15 drink, and he's like, dude, thank you. And I'm like, what? He's like, thanks. And I looked, I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? And then I went back and he gave me a free drink, and my dumbass is like, nah, I'll pay for it. And then I tipped him again.
So you're single-handedly solving the low tipping problem. Didn't another person at the festival after you tipped go, "Yeah, we don't get any of that."
Oh, dude, yeah,
So,
dude.
I don't even know. You were like, "Who just got my money then?" And he went, "I
Yeah,
don't know, not me."
that blew my mind. So no, so the people at Lollapalooza, they get so it's all college kids or like upcoming college. They all like remember that one day they all had their like college T-shirts where they were going and whatnot. Those people get the money, but apparently the people that are running where you get a locker, remember it was like $25 for a day, and I was like, I'll tip you. He's like, we don't get that, and I already gave him like $1. I was like, you're not doing me anything. You're giving me a combination. I'm not giving you more than that. He's like, yeah, we don't get that. I'm like, where does it go? He's like, oh, I don't fucking know. I'm like, are you shitting me? Like,
John Lollapalooza just pocketed your dollar.
Johnny Lala. So, but yeah, so tipping is getting, it's becoming so crazy, and like it is becoming even more of a big deal now because I've seen a lot of Twitter threads where like Europeans are coming over to America and they're like, tipping is fucking ridiculous. Just pay your restaurants workers more, your servers more. When I think you can pay a server $4 an hour by law because you give them like tips, which is wild. Anyways, I tend to like try and tip a lot, but it's getting to the point like I feel bad. Like I go to my local bodega. Those guys know me by name. They like ask me how my job's going. They knew that I was starting a show today. I give them a few bucks every now and again. They make good sandwiches.
Shout out to the guys at the bodega.
Yeah, shout out
to
I can't say it because I'll dox myself, but shout out to the bodega in Manhattan that I'm near. So, dude, they made a mean chicken Caesar wrap the other day, dude. I went back in there. I was like, you guys killed it. They're like, oh man, thank you. So
and can't shout them out.
Yeah, can't shout them out. Well, not yet. So until they sponsor the show.
Until we stream from inside
the bodega with the bodega cats, dude. That'd be sick. But it's becoming like, so I can't drink beer anymore because I literally have an allergy, or you can call me a pussy, whatever you want to do. I can't drink anymore. Hops, I'm allergic to hops, I think. Like I had a quarter of a beer and I thought I was going to puke. Because
Never heard of this before, but
my stomach becomes bloated. I'm a whiskey guy, man. Give me a whiskey sour any day.
I can get behind that.
Whiskey ginger, whiskey sour, rum and coke. I'm a liquor guy. Can't drink beer anymore, or so I drink a seltzers every now and again. So I got like a White Claw at the bar, and all the guy did was open it and then ask for like a 20% tip, and I was like, like you didn't do shit. Like I'll definitely tip 20% if I'm ordering 5 whiskey sours. I'll tip 20%. But anyways, back to this. Americans are tipping less. Besides me, Americans are tipping less. Apparently, I'm the problem.
You're the asshole.
Yeah, tipping frequency in every category, including for restaurant waitstaff, rideshare, and taxi drivers. That's a whole other thing. Hairdressers and food deliverers have generally declined over the past few years. Bankrate said. Leading the rebellion are Gen Zers, millennials, and men, even though older generations are more likely to be grousing about constant tipping requests. Quote, older Americans seem to have the most sticker shock about the rising cost of tipping, yet they are still much more frequent tippers than Gen Zers and millennials. They also tend to be more generous, apparently. 2/3 of adults said that they always tip when they eat a sit-down restaurant, but only 35% of Gen Zers do, which is, to me,
they're just not tipping
is
at all.
insane. Yes.
Fuck the kids. The kids don't know what they're doing. They need to turn their shit around.
This is a sit-down restaurant that you're not tipping at.
Working at a bar and stuff, it's tough because, like, when you're not getting tipped, you're like, fuck, I'm not making any money. This sucks. I'm working for nothing. But then it's also like, who am I blaming? Because, like, the people who are there eating, it's like, shit's so expensive. Like, everybody is struggling. So it's like, the normal people are the ones suffering on all fronts. It's like, I'm not making shit because I can't tip, but I'm expecting this like the other night, one of my coworkers had a table of like a bunch of kids, and they were like, I'm not gonna make any fucking money. They're not gonna tip. They're not buying alcohol or anything. And I was like, yeah, but like we're providing a place for them to like go out and have like innocent fun instead of like committing crimes and their children, and they don't have a lot of money. So it's like, what's the payout? It's like, oh, these fucking kids aren't going to give me money. But it's like, and I don't know how you combat that, because Gen Z is like, yeah, we'll stick it to the man and we'll stop tipping. The man isn't affected. It's me who doesn't get to go home with money
Yeah.
now. Like you really showed me. Like
Yeah, and you were literally 3 years removed from that generation. We're 3
hard.
years removed.
Yeah, it's hard to incentivize the big man upstairs, not Jesus Christ, but the big man upstairs in the office who writes
Flying
the
Sky
paycheck.
Man?
Like, how do you make them pay more money? Because like if you don't tip us, it doesn't fucking affect their bottom line.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Heat. He resubbed and said that my allergy is I'm the problem. So, yes, you're correct. I am the problem.
I agree with that.
Also, apparently, according to Larry, the South Park guys bought a restaurant and raised the wages to like $25 an hour and banned tipping, and the waitstaff complained that they made less money. So,
Well,
interesting.
you make more consistent money.
Yeah. It's more
certain
consistent, but probably
positions-
is less.
Certain positions definitely like feast or famine off tips. You can make a shit ton of money just off of tips, but it's not guaranteed. So they're like, "Oh, I'm making less money because I would have gotten a bunch of tips," but it's like you're not talking about the months where like you're not busy and you're dirt poor and you're having fucking ice salad for dinner.
Ice and air, man. Is that called girl dinner? Ice chips and water? Or no, like celery? Guy dinner is just like
Hungry
lunch
Man.
meat? Yeah, hungry, dude. Oh, fucking
Boar's
hungry,
head.
man. God, yeah, that big meat buildup, dude. So,
I'll
anyways,
show you a big meat builder.
yeah, 20% tip apparently isn't as easy to get as you may think now. Only 37% of U.S. adults say they typically tip at least 20% at sit-down restaurants. However, the likelihood of doing so rises with age. 17% of Gen Z and 28% of millennials say that they tip at least 20%, compared to 41% of Gen X and 52% of baby boomers. Older Americans tend to tip more generously because they usually have higher incomes. Okay, that makes sense. Good service gives you a better chance at a hefty tip, obviously. But Americans are apparently annoyed. 3 in 5 U.S. adults have at least one negative review of tipping, with 35% of saying they believe tipping culture has gone out of control. Tipping is a hot button issue that doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon, according to this survey. I mean, obviously, the minimum wage rises like it did recently in California to $20 per hour for fast food workers. However, they don't expect aggressive tip requests to go away. Instead, the higher wages will likely lead to business raising their prices and cutting workers, as in California, which makes also sense. I've definitely seen that happen. So, but then here's my predicament. If I'm at a bar and I like the bartender, we get along, I'll definitely toss him or her a few dollars, you know. Good service, good banter, great. The bodega guys I know, great. My hairdresser, you know, she fucking chops me up real good. Always tipping her, you know, she's great at her job. Taxi drivers and Uber drivers are where I start to kind of, I don't know, like if it's 3:30 in the morning and I'm ordering BOGO Taco Bell, 2 Nachos Bel Grande, 2 Crunchwrap Supremes, 2 Chalupa Supremes for $28, a $53 order. You were like, how is that so specific? It's because I've done it like 3 or 4 times lately. And a Baja Blast, 3:30 in the morning. I got my boys coming in on a bike at 3:30. I'm going to give him 20%. That's my man right there. So I ain't walking home with $52 worth of Taco Bell. But if it's like 8 p.m. and I'm like, and everybody's working, you're going to have a lot more. I'm not probably going to tip as much for delivery. And then for Uber drivers, I don't know. Because
I took a hard stance on
I
that one.
genuinely
respect
think
that.
some Uber drivers don't, like, I would rather take a New York City cab over an Uber any day of the week, because those, dude, I was just my train 2 days ago. I had like, it was like a 15-minute drive or a 15-minute walk, and my train was in 7 minutes. My cab got me there in 5. Because they don't care. I swear cab drivers don't get pulled over, have no care for anybody else on the road, which is true. They hate bikers, and they will get you where you're placed. So I tipped him like $10 on a $9 ride. So
I love how you're like, they have no regard for anybody else on the road. They put your life in danger.
But
They're
they-
cutting
but, like,
corners. They're taking risks. He
Nobody
gets a tip.
nobody's like in a cab like enjoy. Nobody's like, you know what? I want to get in this cab and like just take your time. You know, everybody needs places to go. So I'll tip a taxi driver more money than I would tip an Uber driver. That's me personally, though.
Yeah, I guess. I just think, yeah, we got to just get rid of tipping in general so that we don't. I'm sick. Everybody's sick of having this conversation. It's crazy how the whole rest of the world is like, just pay the workers. Why should regular people have to come in and pay your workers for you? And America's like, I don't know. It's pretty sick not paying your workers and just making all profit.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, this is a tough issue. How do we solve this one? How do we make both sides happy?
You never make both. Yeah, that's true. But interesting. And then this is a positive thing, although I can't say I believe it. But then again, I'm probably not the age group that they surveyed. Teen mental health improving, according to those liars over the seat. No, I'm kidding. The CDC reported this. However, it is quoted as saying the kids are far from all right. Isn't that an Offspring song? I don't know.
I don't know, but the way they said it doesn't sound like a positive thing.
Apparently, young people are faring better in their mental health in the past few years after COVID-19. Obviously, COVID-19 put all of us in the fucking shit drain of mental health. The data release showed a 2% decrease from the last 2 years in high school students reporting they felt sad or hopeless. But the total dropped from 42% to 40% of students who reported having these feelings, marking the first time the annual Youth Risk Behavior Survey didn't report an increase in over a decade.
Jesus. I mean, the internet would have you thinking otherwise.
My question is, which is probably fleshed out here, is what is making people less hopeless? Because if anything, post-COVID has not been great for any generation.
I feel like I'm getting more hopeless.
Yeah, it's getting... I don't know, apparently what's getting better, small but meaningful improvements among students in marginalized groups, which is badass. 4% of fewer Hispanic teens over those 2 years felt persistently sad or hopeless, experienced poor mental health, and seriously considered attempting to take their own life. 3% fewer made a end-of-life plan. Black teens also saw a 4% decrease in students who reported they'd attempted to take their own life, and 2% decrease in people injured in a taking own life attempt. A pediatric psychologist and executive clinical director said increased awareness, government funding, and school programs can partially explain why youth mental health has improved over the past few years, which is all positives. I guess they're, like I said, if it's just a teenage thing, like I guess like 13 to 18, maybe that, or 13 to 19, excuse me, I guess those individuals are going to be surveyed more, and I guess whatever, we're obviously not in that age group or that demographic
Yeah,
anymore.
they're not asking us. They're
not asking
care
us.
how we feel.
So,
we're on our own.
Apparently, there's also a concerted effort to highlight the causes of despair in young adults. The White House also awarded hundreds of millions of dollars to mental and behavioral health care programs in schools and at-risk communities, which is badass.
Hell yeah.
There's more opportunities to integrate and socialize with peers, she said. The normalization of activities was probably very helpful. Yeah, honestly, I think depression got real bad just because of the isolation. You know, remember remember when we couldn't do anything?
Yeah,
it was just me and you, dude.
Especially now, imagine that if you were like in high school,
dude.
I
literally
seeing your friends every day.
Yeah,
like you're just sitting at home, not doing anything, not seeing anybody, and those are like the most important years to like be around people.
Yeah. Also, Miller, what's up, Miller? He asks, where are you going to post this? It'll be on my YouTube, so it'll be up within an hour after the show. We're just gonna cut out the music, but we're just gonna go up unedited otherwise. So it'll be on our YouTube, and I'll put it in the Discord as well. But it'll live there. Be dope. But yeah, apparently what's also getting worse is that academic pressure, bullying, and in-school violence is getting worse because people are back in school.
Well, yeah, it's up from 0 because how do you bully somebody on Zoom? Like, just end the call. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
You can't be on Zoom and be like, get in the closet. I'm stuffing you in the closet. Go get in it. The person would be like, no.
Percentage of female students who miss school increased from 10 to 16% in 2 years, and nearly 20% of females experienced sexual violence in 23, according to the survey. 30% of LGBTQ plus students said that they were bullied, and 20% missed school due to safety concerns. So, you know,
cool.
3 steps forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah.
But hopefully, I don't know.
Well, I guess if nobody was at school, then what are they comparing this to? Before? COVID,
it's from 20. The recent survey is from 24, and they're comparing it from 21 to 23. So
Gotcha.
people kind of were back in school by the end of 21, beginning of school year 21. I can't believe COVID is quote unquote 4 years ago, dude.
Yeah,
That's wild.
That feels right to me.
Yeah, well. But yeah, those are your surveys. We got to come up with names for these segments, but we'll get to that point.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not worried about it.
Tech news. GameStop, brother. We've been to GameStop a couple times together. Shout out to the one near the Chick-fil-A in Tampa.
For sure.
We went there to buy a Wii remote. I think. Remember
we didn't have a Wii.
Yeah, we did. We absolutely didn't. You're so right. Why did we have a Wii remote? No, we definitely did, dude. We definitely went.
Else partner.
Bro, I remember buying this remote though. What the fuck? What were we doing? Was it not with you?
With that Wii remote, Z?
I can't remember. It was red.
Or after you used it.
Okay, dude. I can't remember what we were doing though. We definitely went there. We definitely went there to. Oh, I know we went there to try and buy like an Xbox like power brick. I remember that.
I think the last time I was actually physically at a GameStop was when I bought Fallout 4, and that came out in like 2015. I feel like that's the last time I went to a GameStop.
No, we definitely walked in together. If we drove there, you would remember that we were in there.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyways, GameStop's turning select locations into retro stores selling classic consoles.
Which is
sick.
Cool. I like that.
So they are going back to selling the Wii, the 360, and the Switch. Well, sorry, the Wii, the 360 were getting overshadowed by the Switch and the Xbox Series X. And then these locations are also going to be selling older games from a variety of franchises such as Pokemon, Mario Kart, Halo, and GTA. They have not specified how many stores will be considered retro locations and whether this shift is permanent or for a limited time, but it is something that they're going to be doing. I think that's pretty cool.
Definitely more niche than just what GameStop was.
Yeah.
But I think now that everything's like digital, it feels like it's missing a certain fun that you just like, click a button to get games now. Like I go to a local video store by me and I buy movies and I have like DVDs that I play because I like just owning them. There's something cool about just owning shit.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like one day when they shut all these servers down and you're out like thousands of dollars and you can't play or watch anything that you used to own.
Yeah, that's fair. Apparently, you can go to their website. They have a retro store tracker now. You click on it, you put in your zip code, and you can see if there's one near you. The consoles are among the products that can be found at the stores are the DS, Wii and Wii U, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES, Nintendo 64, the GameCube, the Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance, PlayStation from 1 to 3, and the Vita. Shout out PlayStation Vita. The Sega Genesis and the Sega Saturn are making a comeback. Dreamcast, the original Xbox, and the 360 are going to be making a comeback. So my question is, all of these things are fucking outdated for a good reason. How are you going to set them up on a normal TV? You got to buy like an RCA splitter.
Yeah, they're gonna have to sell a whole lot of accessories.
Yeah,
people are gonna be doing a lot of troubleshooting. Yeah, I was trying to check recently. I don't even remember where it is, but I want to find my N64 and see if it still works. But I don't even know how
You could buy like an old TV, like one of those 80-pound 14-inch televisions.
Yeah, I could just buy like an analog tube TV and put it somewhere. But
yeah, when you turn it on, it has like the screen black and white, like barrels up and down. You turn it on, you smell like the screen turn on.
The mercury.
Yeah. So, the older ones do not run well even on the splitters. Buy a CRT. Lots of input delay. Very interesting. Thank you.
That's why they play like Smash tournaments on like
I know that they do that.
There's no input delay.
Yeah. The air around the screen is being ionized. Exactly. So,
nerds.
GameStop's doing cool shit. Probably because all the money they've made from what's that guy's name?
Fake stocks.
Diamond Hands guy. I watched that documentary on the plane. It was a pretty good one. But speaking of video games, majoring in video games, colleges are adapting to appeal to Gen Zers. Apparently, 23-year-old graduates from college this fall plan to go into the video game industry. So, to soften the immigration debate in the U.S. by creating characters that look like her. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me dial this back. I'm sorry.
I took a hard left turn.
My notes were fucked up. Sorry. Stephanie Gomez Sanchez has loved video games since the 3rd grade, and it wasn't until the election of Donald Trump that she saw a potential career in them. As of the 23-year-old graduates from college this fall, she plans to go into the video game industry, and her goal is to soften the immigration debate in the U.S. by creating characters that look like her Mexican-American family. Very interesting.
Hell yeah.
The University of Delaware, go Hens, is one of many colleges and universities embracing new programs tailored to pushing students into the multi-billion-dollar field of online gaming and esports. So
Sick. That's probably a lot more useful than my film degree.
Majors like hers are part of a broader wave of less conventional avant-garde majors in specialties such as artificial intelligence that are taking root in American higher education as colleges grapple with changes in the economy and shrinking pool of students. So
I can't think of two more completely opposite. Like majoring in video games is fucking sick, and I want to meet that person. And like that sounds so cool. And if you're majoring in AI, I want to beat you up.
The University of Texas in San Antonio is offering a degree in digital media influencing. So they are now allowing people to learn how to become an influencer, apparently.
What do they even teach in those classes? They're like, hey, okay, and what did we remember, kids? If
How to build an online brand.
If all goes wrong, you just start saying slurs.
Yeah.
You learn all the conservative
You
talking
fall off.
points. It doesn't matter if you believe in it, okay? You have to stick to your guns.
Pick a side of the spectrum. Doesn't matter what side. The extreme side is the best. Slur your ass off. And then apologize. And then go to bed for a little bit. And you'll wake up. Or, better yet, get a friend to do it. Get a friend to do it for you. Make content with them. Let them ruin their life for your gain. That's how you do
kid
it.
Is scribbling. They're like taking notes. They're like, take advantage. Use people as stepping stones.
Friends to use. Mom, ? Grandfather, check mark. So, arguments over how much of a college education should be geared toward training for specific jobs have existed as long as universities have been around. So, like, if you go to school for digital media influencing, you think you're taking, like, business or calculus for business your sophomore year? I don't think so. I had to take that, and I had a marketing degree.
I took one entry-level math class in college, and I barely ever showed up, and I only passed because I was friends with the professor's son.
Video game degrees are taking off. Or video game degrees take off, apparently. Very interesting. I mean, esports is huge, right?
I mean, yeah, even like just college esports teams has always fucking blown my mind because I don't think we had anything like that at our school, or at least I never heard of it.
Yeah.
But that's so crazy to me that you can actually be like on a collegiate team.
I think it's badass.
Like fucking Overwatch or something.
That's what college is for, right? Like you go to these places to do these things.
At college, you probably like get called a loser and picked on and like pantsed and get your lunch money stolen and stuff. I'm acting like these are like 12-year-olds and not grown adults.
Does not happen.
But I feel like even if I like when I was in college and I heard somebody played like a collegiate esport, I'd be like, that guy's kind of a weirdo. Nerd.
Hey man,
but like now,
my best friend since I was 6 did that. Heat did that. He was a coach.
Now that I've grown up a bit, because like I didn't really play games in college, and I wasn't really like on the internet and stuff, so I didn't get it. But now, like looking back on it, I'm like, no, that would actually be really sick.
Yeah.
Just like get a bunch of the boys together to play collegiate esports, represent your school on fucking like Valorant or something. Hopefully not Valorant. Hopefully a better game. But
it's true. Yeah, that's tech news. Do you have anything you want to add, or you want to just take a break and kick it off?
I think we're good on that.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break, probably like 4 minutes, and we'll be right back. We got a fun. Hughes is leading the next segment. You ready, Hughes? It's your debut.
I was born ready.
All right, you're listening to Normal Conversation here on twitch.tv/CTZee. I'm CTZee, alongside my esteemed co-host, the Hughes. Man, we got a quick break for you. We'll be right back after this song. Hopefully, we'll be like after this ad read. Maybe one day. All right, we'll be right back. Yo, welcome back to Normal Conversation. I'm CTZee. Welcome to the episode 1. We're having a great time. We got some notes that we talk about. So we were talking about before the stream, when we do the show breaks, how do we communicate with one another? So my mic is not on OBS, but his mic is part of the desktop audio that you guys hear. So Hughes can't talk during the breaks to me.
I just have to sit here and take it. He says such mean, cruel things to me, and I just have to sit here and take it because I can't unmute.
So
it's a hostile work.
Yeah, it is hot. Yeah, we're not gonna make it after all. LP, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Larry, Thanks again for being here. Heatman, Bino, everybody being here. Appreciate you guys interacting with us. You guys do want to interact with us if you guys are listening to this after the live stream. Got to be here for the live chat. We appreciate all you guys sticking around. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. This is a lot of fun for us, and we got a lot more fun things to do. We got a lot of plans for the show, so it's going to become a staple of our routine. Hopefully become a staple of your routine. Speaking of staples, thank you. Hughes and I always like to kind of quiz each other or like guess things, but Hughes has he's gonna try and like, I don't know, are you quizzing me on something? You're gonna ask me questions. What's the plan here?
It's not quite a quiz. It's a quiz. It's episode 1, so for a lot of people, this might end up being their introduction to us.
That's true.
But I think we got to establish ourselves as reliable hosts, reliable narrators. I thought, how do we do that? We show the people that we, namely you, because you're the one doing it, we're going to show them that we understand them. We're men of the people. And how do you show people that you understand them, or how do you really get to know somebody better than understanding their fears? So I pulled a list from Ranker. People voted their biggest fears. So I took the list of the top 10 most common fears, and I was going to see how many of them you think you could guess. I have the top 15 here, but I'm looking for the top 10. And most of them, I think you could probably get. A couple of them, maybe you could get, but I'd be surprised.
All right. So, top 10 biggest
10
fears. Are this American or worldwide, do you know?
Probably just worldwide. It was just on Ranker.
Small
so anybody
penis.
Can vote on it. That's my personal number 1, but it's not on the list.
That's not on the list? You're bullshitting me. Do you know how many people are afraid that their dick's small?
I think maybe you're misunderstanding how
fears
work.
I'm not misunderstanding anything, brother.
Okay, you know what? How about this? Because I like that guess so much,
you're gonna give me 15?
I'm gonna give you number 7.
No, give me 15. Don't do top 10. Do number 15.
No, because this is relevant. This is kind of relevant to what you said. And honestly, I have a gripe with this one anyways. It kind of sucks. Number 7 most popular fear, atelophobia, the fear of not being good enough. I feel like that's such a fucking
that rides in.
That's like a job interview ass answer. Like, what is your biggest fear? What are you afraid of? It's like, I'm afraid that I'm not always improving because I always want to be the best version of myself. I'm kind of an overachiever and a perfectionist. Like,
yeah, okay.
Number 7 out of all the things in the, I don't know, like chainsaws falling out of the sky or something, not being good enough. Anyways, that's number 7. You got one. Good job. You're
small penis is definitely in there. It's like, what if it's just, I'm giving it all she's got, Captain. You just can't give any more.
What if my penis isn't good enough?
Yeah. It's so.
Okay. Well, that's one off the board. You got 9 more
nice.
to get the top 10.
Quicksand. What? Don't laugh at me.
Okay. So let me specify. Okay, hold on. Let me just specify that these are real people who were surveyed, not cartoon characters.
No. Dude, you've seen Twitter where it's like, well, when I was younger, I was so afraid quicksand was going to be a big thing because of the movies, and then you never ran into it.
I don't think I've ever had a fear of quicksand.
I never did either.
I mean, I never saw I
was never
I never saw Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner in like quicksand, and I was like, that's gonna happen to me when I go outside.
Imagine dying in quicksand with a small penis. It's just the worst.
That's number 11.
That's just the worst of two worlds. All right. Let's go
more.
Let's go
more
death.
general.
Let's go death.
Death. Okay, so interesting. There's 2 on here relating to death. Number 9, necrophobia, is the fear of death, but like dead stuff. Like
so
dead
like zombies
bodies
and
things that are dead, zombies. That's number 9. Number 12 is thanatophobia, which is the fear of actually dying. So people are more afraid of shit that's dead than dying. Which I guess makes sense, because dead stuff, I can see how it creeps you out. But dying is like, there's no avoiding it. We're all dying.
You also have no fucking clue what the fuck happens.
That's number 9 and number 12 in one swing. Look at that.
Dude. I'm a savant.
It guessed quicksand on his second guess.
No.
He said he's a savant.
How about being struck by lightning?
No, not on here.
That's not a bad one, dude. I used to be
There-
terrified of that. My house got
there's
struck by
some-
lightning when I was 4.
Yeah, our house also got struck by lightning.
I was
Maybe that's
terrified
why-
of lightning for a while.
Based on the research we've done right here just now, 100% of people's houses get struck by lightning. So maybe that's why nobody's scared of it, because everybody's like, my house got struck
Well,
by
I was
lightning.
terrified of it. Then I moved to Tampa, and then it happened so goddamn often, I got desensitized to it.
Exposure
So,
therapy works, kids.
okay, so getting struck by lightning's not on there. All right.
It's not on here at all.
Salmonella.
Is that you want
That's
to
my
lock that
guess.
in as an
Yeah.
actual no,
People
absolutely
go,
not.
oh, I don't want to eat sushi because it's raw and I don't want to get sick. I'm afraid of that. Like E. coli and shit.
I'm
Not
sure
on there?
I'm sure some people are scared of that. It's not top 10.
All right.
but
Heights.
Maybe it was
Heights has got to
16.
be on there.
Heights is on there. Number 6, acrophobia, the fear of heights.
Number 6. Okay.
Maybe salmonella was 16. I only did the top 15, so maybe I just missed it.
Would financial hardship be on there?
No, but that's actually surprising.
Like
Fear
not
of
having
just, like,
not having
fear
enough
of-
money.
Fear of losing it
Fear
all.
of being
fear of
poor.
Fear of not hitting on black.
Yeah.
No,
dude, so
actually,
true.
surprisingly, it is not on there.
Okay.
Let's think of
Um,
like what's like a childhood fear that like starts really early in people's lives usually. What are a lot of kids afraid of?
Their uncle. I hated my uncle when I was younger. The dark.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
number 15. So
I'm not even at the
acluo-
top 10. All right.
No, it's not. Acluophobia, the dark.
Oh, what number is it?
It was 15.
Oh,
It was
fuck. All right.
I'm not. If,
Is
if
like-
you really need
is-
help, I'll give you the top.
No, no,
10,
no, no,
but
don't. Is monsters on there? Like
no.
that's you said
No.
childhood. Like if like monster under your bed, the boogeyman, or you keep.
Yeah, no, I was
whatever.
getting at the dark. I wasn't
Alright,
giving you
alright,
the top
alright,
10. I was just
alright.
I was trying to at least get you back on the right track after you guessed quicksand, salmonella.
Spiders.
Like bears?
Spiders.
Oh, spiders is number 2.
Okay.
Arachnophobia, the
moving there.
second
I don't-
most common.
Spiders
fear.
never bothered me.
I love spiders. Spiders are mad cool.
Spiders are cool.
I think insects and snakes and all that shit are super cool.
Yeah, I've never was afraid of that stuff.
Yeah, like what's
Is
it gonna
bugs
be?
on
Okay,
there?
maybe-
Fear of bugs.
It's 14. So it's not top
Interesting.
10, but number 14, entomophobia, bugs. Which
You know what
honestly, if
made
you're-
me desensitize to bugs? Bugs Life was like the coolest movie when I was younger.
True.
I love
had-
Bugs
I think it was Bugs Life themed, but I had like a little fucking like toy. It was like a dome or something that you would like catch bugs in, and you would like put them in the thing, and you
Yeah,
could watch
yeah,
'em,
yeah.
like, chill in there. That shit was mad cool. I was playing in the dirt when I was a kid.
I was
Kids
I
these
was
days-
I was in the
kids
dirt
these
like
days
crazy.
Don't know about don't know about playing in the dirt. What you know about playing in the dirt with bugs and shit? Now they got fucking Xbox Ones.
Yeah, and iPhones and Family Guy compilations. So what I
Okay,
have
well-
number 2, number 7, what's
Number
what?
6 and number 9.
2, 6.
You still
All right,
still
number
haven't
1.
gotten number 1.
Deep oceans.
Yes.
Number
Yeah,
1.
Number 1.
Nice.
Thalassophobia, which
Gotcha.
I've heard that word. I feel like I always see that word on like YouTube and shit. That's like thalassophobia compilation or like on like Instagram. It's like, does this scare you? And it's just like, it makes it seem really fucking stupid, but it's like, does this scare you? It's just a video of the ocean. It almost seems like they're picking.
like,
on
oh,
it.
that sounds
They're like,
nice.
Does this scare you, loser? This water. But apparently, according to the people who voted on this ranker list, which I think the top option had like 20,000 votes or something,
Okay, interesting.
the deep ocean is number 1. There's a very common one that you would know
Flying?
the word for. What is it?
Flying.
No,
Interesting.
surprisingly, that's just a you thing.
That's like my only fear in life is flying.
No, but this word gets used a lot. The phobia. It's probably the most common.
Agoraphobia. Fear of going outside.
No, surprisingly, but that's a good answer. You're right. I didn't think about that. We do talk about agoraphobia a lot. The other phobia that people talk about a lot.
Homophobia.
Okay.
I mean, people
okay.
talk about that a lot.
You're proving that, okay, it was bad. That was a bad hint. It was a really bad hint.
I mean, if you're homophobic, you
A lot
just
of people,
suck.
a lot of people don't actually have this phobia, but they'll say that they're feeling it in the moment. Maybe if they're in like, an
Claustrophobic.
elevator or something. Claustrophobia is number
nice.
4. Tight spaces.
That shit don't bother me either.
Yeah, I don't give
The
a
fear
fuck.
of
It's kinda
suffocating and being buried alive scares me, though. Is that on there?
Kind of. Number 5, I'm not going to use the actual phobia word because I don't think I'm allowed to say it. So I'm going to use the medical term for it, which is pseudodysphagia, choking or strangle, like getting strangled, suffocating.
Just like
Number
being
5.
buried alive is like kind of scares me a little
That's
bit.
probably not a lot of things like scare me, but I think, yeah, being buried alive might be like top number 1 scariest shit that could ever happen to me.
I guess there's 2
All right,
things I'm afraid of.
You've only got number 3 and number 10 left. Oh, and number 8. I don't know if this will help you at all, but my mom used to always tell me that number 8 was the most common fear that everybody has. But
God.
apparently it's 8, so my mom was lying her ass off. No, it's not God. It's a common thing that a lot of people have to do. You have to do it in school sometimes. You might have to do it at your job.
Running the mile.
What job is making you run the mile?
You said school, and I didn't hear what you said after that.
I said you might have to do it at your job. They make you do it in class sometimes. And
Oh,
it
public
usually makes
speaking.
everybody.
Oh, I love
speaking,
public
number 8.
speaking.
I do too. You and I are the
Yeah, it's
weirdos
dope.
on that one. Number 8, glossophobia, public
Get
speaking.
paid to
I
yap?
remember when I started high school, my freshman year, my very first day of high school, my first class in the morning as soon as I got to high school was intro to public speaking. And
Interesting.
it was all seniors and me in my
Oh, you've
first ever high
mentioned that to
school
me.
class. So I definitely just got like thrown in the deep end when it comes to public speaking, and I think that just got me over it because it was all these seniors who like didn't give a fuck. All the teachers knew them, they all knew each other, and I had never been inside the walls of this high school before, and they made me get in front of the class every day and talk to them.
That's I feel like that's exposure therapy almost. You just got thrown into it. I took public speaking in college.
We keep reinforcing this belief that exposure therapy works, and I'm scared because it's challenging one of my beliefs.
I mean, the more I fly, the less I'm afraid.
That's true.
I don't know. Okay, let's see. What else was I afraid of when I was younger?
One of them that is not in the top 10. But
Being
it's
hit
just
with a
outside of the
baseball.
No, but that's probably why I never played baseball. I feel like I would
Dude.
get hit by the ball.
Freaked the shit out of me when I was younger.
It's not in the top 10, but it just missed the top 10. Number 11, it also has to do with the ocean.
Sharks.
Sharks, number 11, galeophobia.
I ain't afraid of sharks.
It's bugs, spiders, and sharks, apparently. Those are the ones that made the top
Okay.
15. The scariest creatures walking our earth, aside from humans, of course.
Dude, I'm afraid of like a fucking cougar or a panther.
Yeah, or like a wild hog.
Yeah, or the police.
That's what I meant.
Is police on there? Police has to be
Pigs in the
3.
wild. Police aren't on here.
Really?
but
Government?
Probably because it's global. It's not just Americans.
All right, that's fair.
I'm gonna be honest. 3 kind of feels like a bit of a shitty cop out because it's so similar to claustrophobia at 4.
Okay. Being
So-
afraid of being stuffed in the trunk?
I'm-
That's
you
too
know what? Yeah,
specific.
I'm gonna give it to you. So 4, claustrophobia, tight space. I feel like claustrophobia is so popular. I don't know how that it got beat by this, but clythrophobia is the fear of being trapped. In general, just being trapped.
I
don't
guess
know
you
if
can
these
get you can be trapped in like your apartment or like
I don't know if these people
a shipping
expect to, like,
container.
they get caught in like rat traps or something. They're like, "Fuck! 5th time I thought I was getting free cheese, and I'm in another fucking rat trap." They're like tweeting. They're like, "Dude, 3rd time this week. I thought somebody left me some free
I've been
cheese. Now I'm in another.
bamboozled yet again."
I'm in another rat trap." I feel like maybe that might be similar. I've always thought that my biggest fear was super irrational and nobody else had it. Because my fear is whenever I'm in like a staircase or a long hallway or something, I have this fear that I'm gonna like turn the corner and it's gonna be never ending and I'm gonna be stuck in it forever.
Yeah,
so maybe
it's like
maybe
litmus.
that's what they're talking about.
Litmus? Isn't it called litmus spaces that
Litmus
Twitter?
dick.
Okay. Isn't there a Twitter handle called litmus test or litmus
Oh,
spaces?
liminal.
Excuse me. Okay. Liminal. Okay. So what? I need number 10, right? It's the only thing I need left.
Just number 10, and you're not going to get it, but I want to see what you guess.
Don't give me any hints.
I won't.
Let's see.
It's...
Velcro.
No.
Okay. Your own voice.
No, but that's like top 3 for me.
Pregnancy. That shit scares me.
No. What?
Okay.
Only like the most beautiful thing that a human being is capable of.
Well, when you want it to happen.
Ew, scary.
When you want it to happen.
Kid.
Oh, man. If I got a chick pregnant right now, I'd lose my mind.
You can keep guessing as long as you want. Just let me know when you've emptied the clip, when you've blown your whole load.
Silence?
No.
Like scared of like quiet? No.
No. I mean, the way some of my fucking coworkers yap my ear off, you'd think they had that phobia.
Parents dying? I guess that would.
No, I guess that would just be dying.
Yeah. Bananas.
No. Surprisingly, no.
Frogs.
No. It's not an animal. They're concepts.
Oh, okay. Going to
They
war.
They. No. What are they? This was. I assume this was taken more recently than Vietnam. I don't think people are worried that their name's gonna get pulled in the draft.
Hey, man. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how long the website Ranker's been around, but I don't think they had it.
Space.
No.
Damn.
So you have 13 and 10 left, and they both feel like some like therapy shit to me. I wouldn't label them as fears, but maybe like shit that people talk to their therapist about.
Childhood trauma.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Number 10 has a funny name. Pissanthrophobia, fear of trusting people due to past experience.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Pissanthrophobia.
Which is so like, that's not a fear. That's just like...
That's just
like
normal.
That's just shit you talk about at therapy. My biggest fear is trusting the wrong people. That's some shit that like an astrology
My biggest
girl
fear
on
is
Twitter
coming
would
home and
say.
seeing my girlfriend just topping off another guy again.
Well, that is legitimate, okay?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's
The third time this week.
It's the third time this week and the third girl.
And then the only one left in the top 15 that you didn't guess is autophobia, which is the fear of abandonment. Which, again, is like, be scared of, like, fucking nuclear missiles or something, like an adult.
Yeah.
Don't be scared of abandonment. Like,
Pussy.
get over it.
What are you,
come
7? Oh, my. Got abandoned. Shut up.
There you go. You successfully, without any help, guessed the top 15 most voted on fears, according to the good people of
I still think
Ranker.com.
salmonella is 16.
I'll have to double check after this. I'm pretty sure it's close. It might have
Alright.
just missed the cutoff, but I'd say you're pretty in tune with what people are actually
I
afraid
think
of.
I'm a
minus-
man of the people, if anything.
Minus,
I've
you
always
know,
said this.
I think your first 4 guesses were a little off, but you just had to get a little calibrated, and then
Yeah. We'll be good to go.
you sunk back into your role play as a regular human being and not a secret billionaire.
All right. Thank you, Hughes, man. That was fun. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll do a quick break and then we'll wrap it up and then we'll say adios. All right. Sound like a plan? All right, brother. All right. We got another break coming up. We're going to do a send off. So we got a couple more things we want to talk about. And then we'll say goodbye, sayonara. You're back in about 5 minutes. Sound good to you?
Works for me.
All right. We'll be right back and listen to Normal Conversation, episode 1. One of many, hopefully. Thanks for being here. We'll be right back. All right. Welcome back to Normal Conversation with your host, me, CTZee, and my best friend, Hues, on the other end of the mic here. What up? Good to see you, Az. Peter Jan says CTZee in the daylight. That's nice. I don't know who Peter Jan is, though. I'm sorry. He apparently has donated bits here, but I don't.
They only come out in the daylight.
I've never seen this fucking. Never seen this username in my life, so.
You don't even know the people who donate to your
Well,
stream.
I don't like that when you change your name on Twitch, why it doesn't stay, doesn't tell you. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, in parentheses, formerly known as.
Yeah, that's what it tell you. But yeah, we got one last segment here. Hughes, it's been a fun first episode, man. Lots to clean up and lots to do, but it's been a fun first one.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the opportunity to just talk about shit that maybe only we care about.
But also stuff that's going on, so.
True. Staying in tune with the world around us.
Yeah. Staying in tune, bro. In tune?
That's the new name of the show.
No, Oasis is coming back, man. Wonderwall, baby. I'm the segue guy, man. But Oasis is coming back, brother. Music news. The brothers behind the beloved but long dormant British band. Of course, all I know is Wonderwall. Apparently, they were an absolute fucking rocking show to see back in the day.
You know Champagne Supernova.
That's Oasis?
That's Oasis.
Oh,
They're a two-hit wonder,
dude,
buddy. Don't get it twisted.
Champagne Supernova. Announced a reunion tour next year with 14 dates across the UK. Ain't even leaving Europe, bro.
Good for them. Loyal
They
to the soil.
fucking hate each other, those two, apparently.
Oh, do they? It's like a Hall & Oates.
Well, Hall & Oates just hate each other. They don't bash each other like publicly. Like these guys like hate each other publicly.
I don't know anything about Oasis. I just know that they're Man City fans, so they're good in my book.
That's fair.
I saw one of them. I don't know which one's which. I don't know how to tell them apart.
Yeah.
One of them was at the game the other day. You got to witness Erling Haaland's hat trick, the greatest striker in the history of sports.
Third time you mentioned that.
2 hat tricks in 3 games.
Yeah, 7
No
goals
big
in
deal.
3 games is disgusting.
I think he's like 3rd or 4th for the most hat tricks in Premier League history, and everybody else on the list has like 300 games, 400 games, 280 games. He has not even played 70 games yet.
Dude, he's filthy. We'll get into sports in a minute. But yeah, that's music news. Lana Del Rey is dating an alligator tour guide. Jeremy
Alligator
Dufresne.
wrestler or something.
Lana Del Rey's new beau is an alligator tour guide who recently separated from his wife. And the dude, like, look, I'm not saying we're handsome, but the dude gives us hope that we could land anybody if he's landing Lana Del Rey.
Let me put it this way. Let me ask you, if you met a girl who was famous in her world, maybe not even Lana Del Rey famous, because that's insane, but like relatively well-known, beautiful girl that many people, very sought after, and you got together, and when the rumors came out, all the news headlines were, look at this woman's disgusting gremlin of a new boyfriend. How would that make you feel? Because all the headlines have been like, Lana Del Rey steps out with a hideous new boyfriend.
Dude, that's gotta be like all-time like roller coaster, because you're banging Lana Del Rey, but you're also known as like just an ugly son of a bitch. Like same thing with Selena and
Benny Blanco.
Benny Blanco at least knows he's ugly though.
But at least he's also a
Hilarious.
celebrity, and
Yeah.
people know him. Like he's had time in the
People like
spotlight
him.
to be like, yeah, people
Yeah.
know how I look, and we've had the conversation about like, yeah, I'm not an attractive guy, but they know me for my career. This guy is just like fucking wrangling alligators in the bayou or some shit, and then one day he's on the front page of every news website, and they're like, look at the world's ugliest man.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Shout out to him though, man. He I don't know how they even met.
And to be fair, he's not ugly. He's just a normal looking.
He
dude.
looks like a
doesn't-
dude that spent too much time in the Florida sun. That's all it is.
He looks like a dude that you would just see like at the gas station buying a pack of Marlboros and like
Yeah.
Coors Lights
Yeah.
after like getting his hands dirty all
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
He looks like a regular hard-working guy, but he doesn't look like you would be dating a celebrity. So they were like, he's the
Yeah.
ugliest man
Look at
we've
this
ever seen
sack
in our
of
entire
shit.
life. But I don't know if that would like hurt my feelings or if it would be like a badge of honor.
I
would
think
like,
it'd be more of a badge of honor. You're like, look what I can do. Like anything's possible. Gets
Yeah,
signed by
'cause
Nike.
you know it wasn't just because I'm handsome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if Johnny Stamos walked out of the Scientology church and pulled a baddie, you'd be like, well, he's John Stamos. Look at how
Yeah.
he looks. But when you look like that
Yeah.
guy, or if you look like one of us, and you're dating a celebrity,
Yeah.
it's like, well, you know, it's not because of how I look.
Yeah, it's because he's funny. He's got a huge meat cannon.
Yeah, that's what they mean by fucking wrangling an alligator all day.
Yeah, talk about big meat buildup, brother. Anyways, another music news. Linkin Park has launched a mysterious 100-hour countdown timer amid new vocalist rumors. So, interesting. LinkinPark.com features a YouTube live stream with the same timer and an accompanying live chat filled with fan speculation that it's going to be a new announcement of new vocalist to replace late lead singer Chester Bennington, who died in 2017. I can't believe it's been that long. It's almost been 10 years.
Who do you think it's going to be? Who you got slated? I think it's going to be The Weeknd.
What, dude? That was almost as far-fetched as your Corey Maggette shout out at the Royal Rumble. The Weeknd,
real hooper. Shout out Corey Maggette. I think The Weeknd's a little more well-known than Corey Maggette, but
yeah, I'd say so. I don't know. I don't think they should replace him. I thought they were gonna like become obsolete. To be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. It always feels weird when that happens because it's like I guess you don't want the band to stop, but it's also like he was the whole heart of it. Like everybody knows Chester Bennington, so it feels weird to, I don't know. But then I guess what do you just get a new vocalist and then just call it a new band?
Yeah,
it's not really a new band. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm not a musician. I don't have a musical bone in my body. So
according to this article, Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm is rumored.
Lizzie McGuire?
No. Lizzie Hale, the lead single.
Her name is Hale, and the band is called Hailstorm?
Yeah, it's her band. She's a lead singer, guitarist for Hailstorm. I don't know. They say maybe she's going to be it. She's got a dope voice, dude. She's got some pipes. I don't know if you've ever heard Hailstorm's music.
You would have to.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I love Linkin Park, but we'll see what happens. And then, did you see the video of Ludacris drinking that still water in the glacier?
Oh yeah, I think that's like an older video, right? I saw people were posting it and they were like, how long ago did you record this? Because we haven't heard from him in a while.
Well, there's an update as of 2 days ago that he feels like Superman. And it was the best tasting water he's ever had in his life, apparently. So he's okay. He's doing things on his bucket list, but he calls it his fuck it list. So, Luda. Shout out Luda, man. Dude.
Underrated rapper, honestly.
Agreed. And like, I think he's underrated only because he came from Atlanta. Like Atlanta-based rappers, his time were kind of overshadowed by like Northeast.
He was too early.
Yeah. So, but I mean, he's big time, dude. Also, did you see what he's wearing at a glacier? He looks like he just is about to go like shopping at the mall in his drip, but he's in a Leatherman jacket, like J's, and like black pants. And a glacier. Like, are you not cold? Like,
he's authentically himself.
No, I agree. It's awesome. But I'm like, are you not freezing your ass off? Like, he just looks like he's like a spring day.
He's like the kids in high school who like refused to ever wear pants and would only wear shorts all year round.
Dude, my brother was like, my brother was
3
like that.
3 feet of snow on the ground.
So dumb. But yeah, that's your music news. You got any concerts coming up you're gonna go see, Hues?
No, I'm not really a big concert guy.
Yeah,
our family friends who are in a band, Windwalkers, shout out Windwalkers if you ever heard of them. If you haven't heard of them, you should listen to them. I think you'd like them. They're great.
Dope.
Incredibly talented. They're coming down to Florida soon, so hopefully we're gonna be able to go see them.
That's cool.
Get in the family friends section, be up on the balcony. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's dope. That'll be really cool. When are they coming down? 'Cause I'd come down.
Yeah, I want to say September, but I could be so wrong.
Could be a tough pull.
I don't plan my life. I just kind of wake up and figure it out.
That's fair. Video game news. Black Myth's Wukong's first 24 hours, boomed. Most played single player game on Steam. The second most played game on the platform overall. I have not downloaded it. I don't think you are either.
Probably not.
10 million copies sold in 83 hours, making it one of the fastest selling games ever. They turned profit in day one, making $450 million in its first 3 days. But it has been reported that sexism and toxic culture at Game Science, classic, the publishers of the game, happened in November. And then before launch, the game's marketing team instructed live streamers to avoid mentioning feminist propaganda, fetishization, COVID-19, and China's industry policies, opinions, and news. It backfired as one 8-hour Twitch stream was titled COVID-19 isolation, Taiwan, in parentheses, is a real country, close parentheses, feminine propaganda, garnered more than 300,000 views.
Hell yeah. Good for that. Do you know the streamer's name? Because good for them.
I could find out. I don't know why anybody believes saying like, hey, don't do this is going to be like,
Is going to work.
Yeah, especially in live streaming.
And it's also like, what does any of that shit have to do with the game? You didn't have to say that, and people probably wouldn't have brought it up.
Yeah.
Who's going to be like, this is my Black Myth Wukong stream. By the way, women's rights, huh, guys? Like, I don't think that has anything to do with the game.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I cannot find who was streaming it though.
Well, somebody out there will know. So whoever it is, shout out to them because that's hilarious.
No, I agree. Like, what are you doing? But also, the COD Black Ops beta's live.
Yeah, I saw that people are already hacking their asses off in it. It's borderline unplayable before it's even been released. Yeah.
Jesus.
It's hilarious how COD has stood the test of time as like the everyman's game because none of my coworkers are really into gaming and all that shit, and I keep hearing them talking about the COD beta. It still is
dude,
just like
it's a juggernaut. I'm gonna download it. It's on Game Pass day one, so.
Oh, then I'm gonna have to play
Yeah, we're gonna play it for sure.
I'm loyal to the Game Pass. If it's on Game Pass, I'm playing.
I love Game Pass. I said to you on your stream, top 5 best adventures of the 20th century. Game Pass.
True. You said that I forget what you said number 1 was. But I think you said
there was no order. It was.
You said number 2 was
Uber
Game
Eats.
Pass, and number 3 was Obamacare.
Obamacare, Uber Eats, Game Pass, music streaming, and I forget the 5th one.
Yeah, I don't know. Who cares? I think you had Game Pass ranked over Obamacare, though.
Oh, yeah. I still do. Yeah.
I use Game Pass all the time.
Yeah. I don't use my health
never
insurance
used
all the time.
Obamacare.
Yeah. My mom does. That's all I did. So, sports news. I thought this was really cool. Maybe you heard it. I'm a big baseball guy. This dude named Danny Jansen became the first player to appear in the same game for both teams. So on June 26th, a game between your Red Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays was suspended due to weather, and Jansen was at bat for the Blue Jays. The game was scheduled to resume 2 months later on August 26th, but in that time period, Jansen was traded from the Blue Jays to the Red Sox. So on Monday, he took the field against the team he had played for when the game began.
So he was at bat when the game got postponed?
Yeah.
Did he have to get back at the plate so the Red Sox were pitching to the Red Sox?
No,
like,
so
this is where we left it.
No, so what happens actually, it's very interesting. So I don't know what happened in the at bat, but he had one strike on him, so it counts as a new at bat. So if it was 0-2, you'd have to go up 0-2 apparently. But it was 0-1, so it was a new at bat. The person that batted for him, if that batter were to strike out, the strikeout counts as Jansen's strikeout. But if that batter gets a hit, it's that batter's hit.
Oh, so he's got everything to gain and nothing to lose.
No, he has everything
to
he has. Yeah. But Jansen was catching that game, so he was basically catching his own at bat. He became the first player to ever do it. So
that's hilarious. Good for him. Did he end up doing anything that game? Did he score? Did he do anything?
Or
was he just kind of like a sack of shit? And they were like, "Thank God we got rid of this guy. Glad he's on the other side now."
He went 1 for 4 with a single.
Nice. Wow, big stuff, big production.
Yeah, he's a catcher, so he's more his defensive prowess.
Yeah, he's more focused on just having big, juicy thighs.
Yeah, and it is within the rules. Jansen playing for both the Blue Jays and the Red Sox in the same game is within the rules. Red Sox aren't stepping outside the rules, nor is this some half-baked idea that sounds cool, but it isn't actually legal. So there's a rule that covers substitutions and stuff like that. The MLB rulebook will make you throw up.
That would be so sick if he scored and then he got traded and then he beat himself.
Yeah. Also, there's a rookie for the Niners that got shot in San Francisco. He's okay though.
Jesus Christ.
Ricky Pearsall. The dude suffered a gunshot wound in a robbery attempt in the city's Union Square. The 17-year-old suspect were injured in a struggle following the robbery attempt and were transported to a nearby hospital. So he was a 31st overall pick at the draft in April. He's from University of Florida. He's a wide receiver. So he's okay. Apparently that's crazy though.
What a turn of luck.
College football came back yesterday. I know we're not huge fans of college football, but
Oh, but I was serving those people drinks while they were getting rowdy about their children athletes.
NFL is back next week. Baseball's in full swing. Hoops and hockey's on the mend, man. We're gonna be talking that come the season, but
most importantly, Premier League's back.
Premier League's back. Caitlin Clark's a savant. Put up 31 fucking points.
Saw that. Saw she was talking some cash shit on the court too to the fans.
Yeah.
You saw that?
I
video?
love Caitlin Clark, dude.
That
She's
was such disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, did that go in? I think that went in.
Yeah,
It was like the most playground.
She's so good too.
Do you ever see those it's like YouTube shorts or like TikToks or whatever? People who just like go to public games and they're like content creators and they have the camera on and they're talking shit the whole time. That's what it reminded me of.
I have not seen that, but
It's
I've
just
definitely
so
yeah.
annoying.
That's awesome. Shout out her. She's dope. She's getting bullied in the league too. Like, all these fouls and shit. She's getting, like, I was watching a foul. She's going for a loose ball, and someone just came running, just fucking like they're like hazing her out how much she's getting.
Can't stop her.
Yeah, she's so good, dude.
They got to just throw her into the NBA at this point.
The NBA does own the WNBA.
Classic.
So
some things never change.
So, and you watching any sports this weekend though? You have any bets you're doing? I
was sitting at the bar with my brother the other day, and it was like a sports bar, but it was just kind of a weird time where nothing was on.
Mhm.
And I was like, if my whole thing was sports, and I was like a sports guy through and through, I see how people get hopelessly addicted to gambling, because I don't see how else I'm gonna get invested in this tennis match between like a Polish lady and a Japanese lady. Like,
then it was a fire match.
If I had $100 on this thing, I bet I'd care.
Oh yeah. What?
Sports gamble. That's what I'm telling people.
I've lost too much money.
Yeah, I don't think I could. Yeah, no. If I could literally like put $20 on a baseball team just to get a hit, and the other team would throw a no hitter. Like, that's the kind of luck
I got
have when
$150 and the Phils win the World Series.
Well, best of luck to you.
Yeah, man.
Normally people bet against their own team so that they win either way. You either win the bet or your team wins.
Could not be me. I go down with my ship, and I've drowned a lot.
Fair enough. Yeah. So now you can be upset and lose money.
Yeah, but
I respect the dedication.
shout out to my bank account. Shout out DraftKings. Since I haven't been betting them with them for like 2 months now, I get upwards of 7 to 8 notifications a day. Like, hey, this is a hot bet in your area. This is a hot bet. But if I go into the app, they stop notifying me for like a couple weeks.
There's nothing more
predatory
reprehensible about that.
Yeah. So
that's like when Uber Eats is always like, get 5% off this restaurant you've never had before in your entire life.
fucking love Uber Eats BOGOs, dude. Put it in my hoop. My fucking hoop. All right, speaking of putting in your hoop, man, I got nothing more to talk about, bro. I think this normal conversation's over. Did you have a good time,
like
Hughes?
Flew by. We've been, 20, 30 minutes?
2.5 hours. We were shooting for 2 hours. We went over a little bit. We had breaks, so we're about 2 hours. And the introduction took a while. But, yeah, that's it, man. Do it the same time again. Same time again next week. Again the same time next. What is the saying?
Are you having a stroke?
I feel like I'm having a stroke.
This is on the episode. This was supposed
We'll
to
do
be
it
for the
again next
long haul.
time. We'll do it again same time next week. That's it. We'll do it again same time next week. That's it. Is that what I said first time?
We're gonna get the medical team out here as soon as we get these cameras.
No, we'll be all right. Thanks for being here, man. You have any shout outs or talk about the week ahead or?
Shout out to my mom. I don't actually believe you killed Matthew Perry. I'm sorry I said that.
Shout out to Windwalker.
Shout out to Windwalkers. Yeah, check them out if you haven't. I'm gonna be seeing them soon.
Should I play their music on the way out since it's probably not gonna get copyrighted?
They're not gonna copyright strike, and if they do, I'll personally have a stern talking with them.
What song should I do?
I don't know any of them. They're all good. Whatever the most streamed one is.
That'll be our outro song. We needed an outro song.
No other shout outs for me. Just gonna be working my ass off tomorrow.
You streaming this week?
Doing labor on Labor Day, and then I should be streaming I think Tuesday and Wednesday, probably. Haven't thought any further ahead into the future than that.
Word. I'll be live. I'm doing a 12-hour stream tomorrow for Labor Day, so we can do some stuff. Maybe. Oh no, you're working tomorrow. That sucks. You have to work Labor Day. That blows.
I am doing labor on Labor Day, man.
I respect it though.
I'm the backbone of this company or this country. We're America. The alcohol is the oil that runs the American engine.
That's so true. It's the elixir that keeps the country moving, man.
I gotta sling the people their potions.
That's true. But yeah, we'll be back next Sunday, 12 o'clock, same time. Sounding like a plan, brother. As long as you don't have work. But yeah, we'll be back here next week for episode 2. Episode 1 will be up on my YouTube within the hour. I'm literally going to download it as soon as I go offline and edit it together and put it on YouTube because I want to get it out there and make some clips. So, but thank you guys for being here. Thanks for listening. I'll be live this week as well. I also have work all week, but we'll make it work. We always make it stink real good. And then at the end of the month, dude, we'll have to do a normal conversation in person because I'll be coming to visit you.
True, we could do that. We could arrange that.
That'll be
we
fun.
Can make that happen.
I'll bring my setup.
We can do the kissing episode.
Yeah, the kissing milestone. That's what everybody wants, apparently. Episode 1, we already have a milestone. That's crazy.
We have to raise $1,000 though.
Space Deli, $1,000, kissing, and in the bodega. No, I said the deli, but
you just said like the same thing 3 times.
Yeah, you're right.
It was a little all over the place.
It's okay.
We'll workshop it. We'll workshop.
Yeah, that's all about the. Yeah.
We'll get some milestones in place.
I literally
Patreon
feel my
open. $10 for the kissing episode.
Patreon episode, hour long. You hear us slur. No.
$20 for the hand stuff episode. $50 for mouth stuff.
Thank you guys for being here. Quick shout out. Heat, thanks for the 49 months. Vaughn, thanks for the 31. Oak, thanks for the 30. Thank you, Larry. Heat, D Burns for being here. Bino, Az, LP, whoever Peter Jan is. I'll have to figure out who the fuck that is. I don't know who that is.
Poor person.
I'm
They're
sorry.
your biggest fan.
Yeah, they're like, yo, it's good to see you. I'm like, I don't know who you are. Spartan Martin came through. Miller was in here. Apollo, weird guy, Alex, everybody, thanks for being here. We'll be back here next week together. We'll probably do, maybe we'll do Chain Together at some point this week too, Hues. But for the show, we'll be here next week, episode 2, live here as well. If you have any feedback, be much appreciated. If not, shut the fuck. No. We'll hope to see you next week. Thanks for being here.
Shut the fuck up.
Thanks for being here. Normal Conversations. It was a pleasure. We're going to raid out to... Let's go hang out with Durs. Durs is also here earlier, so we'll go hang out with Durs, man.
Hell yeah.
This is a good song. I like this music, by the way. Good outro music. But yeah, we'll hope to see you real soon. As for Hues, I'm CTZee. It was a pleasure here. It's finally fun to get this show kicked off, but we got a lot more fun things to plan out and do, and a lot more fun to have. So at the end of the day, so thanks for being here. You're listening to Normal Conversation live on twitch.tv/CTZee, or maybe you're catching the VOD or wherever you're listening. We appreciate you. We'll see you real soon, and take it easy. Adios, gang.